This episode of Kind of Funny Gamescast is brought to you by Blue Apron, the #1 fresh ingredient and recipe delivery service in the country. Their mission is to make incredible home cooking accessible to everyone. Blue Apron achieves this by supporting a more sustainable food system, setting the highest standards for ingredients, and building a community of home chefs. Choose from a variety of new recipes each and every week, or let Blue Apron's culinary team surprise you. Recipes are not repeated within a year, so you'll never get bored. Let me tell you about some upcoming meals. We're looking at summer vegetable and egg paninis with Calabrian chili, mayonnaise, and caprese salad. Soy glazed pork and rice cakes with bok choy and marinated green beans. I'm all about that. Skillet vegetable chili with cornmeal and cheddar drop biscuits. And garlic butter shrimp and corn with green bean salad and roasted purple tomatoes. I've never seen a purple tomato, but I'm excited about it. Greg Miller loves Blue Apron, and he is a master chef, as seen on the hit internet cooking show, Cooking with Greggy. Blue Apron knows you're busy, so now they're offering 30-minute meals. These meals are made with the same flavor and farm-fresh ingredients you know and love and are ready in 30 minutes or less. Check out this week's menu and get your first 3 meals free with free shipping by going to blueapron.com/gamescast. That's blueapron.com/gamescast. Blue Apron, better way to cook. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the first ever episode 141 of the Kind of Funny Gamescast. Oh my God. Nick just lightsabered to my mic. This is going to be the biggest Kind of Funny Gamescast of all time. Why? There's more people at the table than ever. 5, count them, 5 people. This table. And Patreon producer Tom Bach. Thank you. Also in the chat right now, because remember, you can get this show very early by going to patreon.com/kindoffunnygames. How early, Nick?
You can be watching it live as we record it, just like Patreon producer Tom Bach is right now, and he was talking trash in the pre-show.
That is true.
Talking trash.
Great taste in sports teams. Right?
And you can get it later on youtube.com/kindoffunnygames or podcast services
around the globe.
Thank you for that, Greg.
You're welcome, Tim.
As always,
I love you.
I'm Tim Gettys.
Happy
joined by one of the coolest dudes in video games, Greg Miller.
Hey, it's me. You want a cool shirt?
And rounding out the table, we got Candy Andy Cortez.
Yeah,
Hi.
boy.
We got Nick, the producer/seducer Scarpino.
At some point, I'm going to stuff this in Greg's drink.
Here's the thing: if you're an audio listener, he's got a coaster. If you're a video listener, you see that he's got a coaster. And if you're a human being, you know Nick Scarpino is a cowardly bitch, and there's not a chance in hell he stuffs.
I like how you started laughing at yourself as you got halfway through my last name.
Scarpino.
And rounding out the table, for the first time on this show, we have Devin. You might know Devin as the future husband of Shonda.
Yes.
Who is going to be on an episode of the Game Over Greggy show eventually.
Yeah. Man, the wheels locked up hard.
The problem is it's
time's
time
gonna be all
comp, man.
fucked.
It's time
If
comp.
you watched live yesterday,
But on that episode of the Game Over Greggy show, Devin proposed.
Yay.
But Devin was also on an episode of the Game Over Greggy show a year ago.
150.
150.
And if you've already seen her on GOG, we don't know how the fuck you did that. That's really weird.
So anyway, thank you, Devin, for joining us again. He is a supporter on Patreon, just like so many of you are, and we appreciate that. So what is your last name, though? I didn't ask you that.
Hansen.
Devin Hansen.
Like Chris Hansen.
Oh.
Yeah, just spelled different. It's all Norwegian-y.
logs.
2 S's and an E, and I think a number in there somewhere.
My brain went Jim Hansen, but then I kept thinking To Catch a Predator also. I was like, was Jim Hansen the host? Of
Jim
To Catch a
Stop.
Henson.
Who was Jim?
Jim
No,
Henson.
Jim
Henson.
But don't correct him. Just let him go. Let him go. The corner back. Bring him right back.
I'm
to
like
the
a pug, right? I just keep running.
So the show is a little bit interesting. As you all know, we start the show off with what games we've been playing recently. And all of us at the table, except for Devin,
Yeah, I know.
have been playing South Park, The Fractured Butthole. So we're going to get that out of the way. We're going to do our review discussion of that game.
Yeah.
And then we'll dismiss these two fine young gentlemen. And then the show will just be me, Greg, and the beautiful Devin over there.
Gotcha.
Kick it off, whoever wants to. South Park, The Fractured Butthole.
I really like this game. I'm really digging it.
How far are you right now?
I don't know how many hours. Maybe like 5 hours into it, 6 hours into it.
Okay, okay.
My what's the
Your might.
My might is like a 193. If
Gotcha.
that gives anyone. I'm level 5 as far as how many times I level up. I'm liking it. The one thing I like about this game is it's perfect for me, right? I don't have to pay too much attention to it. The combat really is not that hard, and you can just kind of really enjoy the world they've created. It's like watching an episode or two or a movie of South Park.
Sure.
And you don't you just kind of go on that journey with them. right? Like you think a little bit and it's fun and there's just enough strategy elements there that I have to kind of pay attention. But last night I found myself just hammering a bag of goldfish while I was playing.
Dude.
And
Hell
it was a
yeah.
perfect
Give me
combo.
give me some right there.
Did you play the first one?
I did not play The Stick of Truth, no. But I feel like I don't think it doesn't matter. I mean, I think maybe for the first like 30 minutes of the game, you should have probably played The Stick of Truth. I don't think those elements come back though, right?
Yeah,
Kinda, a little
I
bit.
don't
No
know.
Tim and I were talking about this today on Games Daily, where somebody wrote in and was like, "Do I have to play?" You don't have to. I just think it adds more context to it. I like the idea that it's the day after, like we see the kids transition out of that game into the new game.
They're not playing.
That
They're not
stuff
playing a
does
little anymore.
come into play at the end a bit, but I mean, you don't need to know that much.
So what I like about that, though, is that this game starts off with them very much in that setting.
Sure.
And I think that adds the context that you need to know. Because without that, I would be like, oh, man, you should definitely play the other one. But this one, you do get a little bit of the elements from it.
Yeah.
So I think it's enough. But yeah, obviously,
I
play
guess
the other one to
for
get
me,
everything out of this.
My whole thing with it is the fact that I dropped off being a South Park viewer a long time ago. And like I can't remember the last time I watched South Park or went out of my way to watch it. I like the show. It's just I'm not a TV person.
Right.
And so Stick of Truth, when that dropped, that was really my re-indoctrination into the world and introducing me to all those characters, so that when we jump back in here and it's the same characters, how their relationships are playing off each other and all these different things. I like the fact that for me it is just a connected world there. Even granted, there's been all these seasons of South Park which get referenced and all these different things. I like the fact that the connective tissue is still there. So for me, it is 1 to 2 kind of thing. It makes sense to get them in line and play them that way. Not that I think you need to.
Had you watched any of the Coon episodes?
No. I think I've
Oh,
seen
man.
clips here and there.
The Coon was, I think it was like a trilogy.
Yeah. So
And it's
those are some of my favorite South Park
Yeah.
episodes. And so all the references to all of the different heroes, and then like Mint Berry Crunch and fucking diabetes, like all that shit is like, I love it, and it's hitting such a great spot for me because, like you, I am a Lapsed fan, but not that long. I haven't watched like maybe the last 2 or 3 seasons or
Gotcha.
so. But God, I've just been laughing so goddamn hard this whole time. And I know that did you beat it yet?
No, I didn't beat it. I'm
Okay.
also about 5-6 hours
Yeah.
into it.
I'd say maybe like 7 or 8 hours ish, but I know Greg beat it.
Yeah.
And I know that some of those jokes eventually do get stale, like while you're in combat, and there's the little banter between.
Right.
If you're not changing up your team, they're saying the same things. To
Right.
each other.
I did run into a weird issue right now. I don't know if it's spoiler or whatever, but I was fighting Randy Marsh.
yeah.
That's not a spoiler. You expect to fight him, right?
Yeah, and who's probably my favorite character of all time in South
And
Park.
that bit, by the way, when you hit him, when you get him the second, like the first time when he puts you on that side quest,
Yeah.
it's so good.
So I fought him for a second time, and there was no dialogue. There was no banter in between moves.
oh no, yeah, that's
It was
that's
very
a glitch.
weird.
That
Yeah,
has to be a glitch.
because the first time it was nonstop. He's saying stuff, we're saying stuff, and last night it kind of bummed me out because I was looking forward to more of that. But I did read on a few websites. I think it was maybe Kotaku or Polygon who said that like, yeah, the game's fun, but there are a lot of technical issues.
Oh, really?
And I had never run into the technical issue until that thing, which is
Interesting.
kind of a big glaring thing where I think the way that they try to make the combat more entertaining is with the banter between the characters. And finally experiencing a fight without that was really bad and kind of like, oh, this sucks.
Well, they say something every time you attack, right?
For the most
Pretty
part,
much,
yeah.
yeah,
The
there's
other
a lot
characters,
of
like
clips.
if, like I lit Randy Marsh on fire, and it's like the dots sort of damage, so like damage over time. So after each move, when he's gonna do a move, he says something, and he'd be like, "Oh shit, I'm still on fire," and it's just, and I was laughing so hard. I'm really digging it, like Nick and was mentioning earlier that. It is a game that doesn't require a whole lot of concentration combat-wise, because
Yeah.
I don't think it's like...
Well, it's turn-based too.
It-
You have time to think.
Yeah,
and what
it
you
just
wanna do.
doesn't seem like that...
Not that strategic.
The stakes aren't that high. Like, so I just like, whatever.
Towards the end, I thought I was trying to trick, we're playing it before anybody else has it, or the embargo's up, I should say. So there's not guides or anything, and there's one trophy in there for playing as a black character on Mastermind difficulty. And at the end, this isn't a spoiler, I don't think, but like throughout it, you're filling out your character stat sheet, and so you fill things in of like what your weakness is and what your race is and that thing. So when I got to the point where you fill that in, you can come back at any time and redo it. So I was like, huh. And so I went back, made the character black, put on the difficulty, and did a few fights that way before I was like, and it wasn't much worse. I was using more items for the first time. Now, granted, this was way late in the game because my idea was if I switch to a black character and switch to the hardest difficulty there and beat the game there, can I pop that
But
trophy?
does the black-white character, I thought that was just a joke.
So from what I understand, and I could be wrong about this, but I don't think that it actually changes the
yeah,
difficulty.
You're all
of
getting
combat.
confused. We're all getting
Yeah.
confused. So there's two different options. You can make the character black, set the game's difficulty to mastermind.
Right.
That's the thing, yeah.
It's not that the character is
The
changing
character
difficulty.
class has nothing to do with the difficulty, no.
Got
Right,
it.
'cause
Okay.
that was-
Trophy is
the-
be black and then have the game
Got
on
it, okay.
mastermind
Got it, 'cause
difficulty.
Because that
I
was
think
the joke. Let's go ahead.
Yeah, well, it does change the difficulty of the quest, of the context of what people say to you and things like that. And, like,
Interesting.
the
Okay.
I was told that
questions
I thought
and
that
stuff.
wasn't the case. Remember they put out that article last week saying that
Yeah,
wasn't the
they-
case. And people were
they
super
said-
upset about that.
Like
That's
in the
just a
game,
joke.
there was a quote where he's like, "If you wait on that screen for too long," he
Yep.
goes, "By the way, this doesn't change the difficulty of the game. Just in real life, it changes
Yeah.
your difficulty." Which I thought
just
was
the
funny. I thought that was
he
just a
goes. It
hilarious,
doesn't
like,
change the
commentary.
difficulty of combat, just everything else.
Yeah.
And the original rumor was that it was going to give you less money, people would treat you differently, blah blah blah. And then when they were pressed on it last week before launch, I think they told Polygon or Kotaku,
Yeah.
and it was like, oh no, it's just a joke. And then people got super offended of like, oh well, that's just a dumb joke. Why not make it actually difficult? Why not actually make it feel walk on my own my shoes kind of
Interesting.
thing?
Let us know in the comments because I've seen it both ways. I know what you're talking about, but I've seen people that have been playing the game saying that it does affect things.
Last thing I
But it might not be actual difficulty things. It just changes things.
sure.
like
Well, I mean,
dialogue and interactions.
Yeah.
And that's the biggest thing is like that stuff's referenced regardless of who you are, right? Like this time around, I made my character look like Jen. So I said everything I answered, I was a female. I was a cis female. And so like that's part of the joke, right? I think, and the fact that like when you come out of has everybody gotten here yet? Where you come out of the school after making that
Yeah.
choice or whatever, and those guys roll up and they're like,
fucking
"What are
cis
this? Well, look at this cis female coming in." They're like, so like if you were playing it with none of that context, it would
Yeah.
be, "Look at this black,
Whatever it is.
yeah, transgender person." Like they would
Right.
act like they're playing into that when they played it, no matter what.
Yeah.
Whereas even later on in the game, this is not a spoiler, but like in the playground, there's the 3 bathrooms. There's male, female, cis.
Yeah.
And I think it was cis for me. I assume maybe it is for everybody.
Well, that's what's cool about the game is there's so many different options and so many things that I think people are going to miss out on because the dialogue trees change based on all of these little choices that you
Yeah.
make, and it's super awesome. Like even little things like Kotaku wrote an article about this today, but you would tell me about it where there's there's things you need to do, like there's a passcode that you
Oh,
need
yeah,
to figure
Cartman's
out.
house, yeah.
But it's like if you go about doing it the wrong way, like you'll see jokes that you would have never seen otherwise.
right, yeah.
It's super awesome.
That is one of my critiques of the game, though, is that it does feel like because the combat is a little limited, that they threw a bunch of other systems into it that kind of to flesh it out a little bit more and to make there feel like there's more depth. And I feel like I kind of just don't care about those.
Like what?
Like there's the DNA, there's the different the way you level up.
Sure.
There's all those different ways of crafting those different things, and I'm just like, I don't know if because I don't
All
feel
the
like
apps.
I just don't feel like all that stuff like adds to the combat. I don't feel it.
Yeah.
So I just come like, oh god, I gotta go add. Okay, I got
Yeah, the whole thing
cool.
about
I
it,
can
I mean,
up my might. It's
it-
like I don't know the difference between might, the DNA, like all the like the leveling and all
Sure.
that stuff. I just don't.
The thing is, I don't think
feel
you
like
need to.
Yeah, I don't think you need
and that's the whole point. Is I think your overall might's all that matters because it's your level for you being able to take on a mission. It'll
Right.
tell you if you're out of your depth or whatever. So like I assigned my DNA once and never went back and fucked around with it. And then all the trinkets and artifacts and shit, it was just a stat based thing. I never looked at what they did. Are
Yeah.
they more might? Put them on there. If not, fuck it. Who cares?
It's like power level Destiny.
Exactly. 100%. Yeah, I don't care what it's doing as long as it's getting me where it is.
Yeah, I mean
That's
it's
fair.
interesting because there is so many like systems. There's so many just things to collect and like little like mini game style things to do.
Yeah.
like collecting the cats or the toilets. The
Yeah,
putting-
Yowie.
Dude, the
Putting
freaking
up signs.
Yowie
the
stuff.
Yowie. This is the first game I've ever played where they send you on side quest. Like I'm actually more like I laugh every single time I find one of those freaking Yowie pictures, and I'm like I just want to go look for these in the world because I just want to see what the next one is.
Yeah.
So one of the overarching narratives of the game, of course, is Tweak and Craig's relationship. And I missed this episode.
It's an episode. It's a
they're-
reference,
Are they
yeah.
gay for each other? Are they? I'm sorry. Are they gay and in love with each other, or is it just that they're boys who really like each other?
No, I don't remember. I'm sure
'Cause the-
people will correct
I-
us,
when I-
but
when
I
I s-
remember the references to it.
When I started collecting the posters, I was like, oh, this is clearly based on an episode of South Park. I don't remember, but I'm assuming they're not gay.
No,
but
they're
then
not.
as you continue on that quest, I was like, are they? Like, and I don't care, but it's like I was as a lapsed fan who hadn't seen any of that content. I was like, huh.
I think that might be just a joke. Is that like when they set that up, they're obviously like, we don't know what it is, but they're weird and confusing to us, right? And like, I don't know.
No,
just think-
I think there was an episode where they were trying to say that these two boys were gay.
Yeah.
Tweak and Craig, and then I don't know how these drawings started happening in the
Drawings
world.
are just so
But it's
fucked
just
up.
they're so fucking hilarious.
Like, some of them
man.
are love, some of them
grabbing
are
it from
kinda
a hand,
violent
a
looking,
hand in the
some of
pants
them
and
are
shit.
so
Like it's so funny, man.
But I mean, so that those things I liked. I liked the mechanics of when you're walking around the world and you get the added sort of like skills so that you can like fly around. You can like
Oh,
you
sure.
can throw things.
Your power up things.
Yeah,
your
the
buddy
power
skills.
things. I think those are pretty cool. They're a little confusing, and I don't think they don't set that up that much of like when you get them. Like I didn't realize I had one of them for the longest time.
Oh,
The
yeah.
pop one, I just picked it up. It's like, hey, you can do this now. Like, oh, okay, right.
Oh, the firecracker thing?
Yeah, actually,
Oh,
maybe it wasn't the firecracker.
That
It
is
was
the
the
Throw your fart.
yes. That
Time-
was when I was like, I didn't realize
timer
that was
one?
actually something that stopped. Like if you fart on people, it'll stop the combat. I don't know if you know that or not. You can run away.
Well, I do. I throw I throw the spark or the whatever firecrackers in their face and then attack that way.
Okay.
Because that gives you combat
One
advantage.
starts with
Smart.
the combat advantage is either burn or gross out. If you
Oh,
fart, they get
gotcha.
grossed out. If you
Got
throw
you,
the thing,
okay.
they burn.
I thought if you hit triangle, it would stun them and you could run away, so you don't actually have
I mean,
to fight.
you could do that.
You
as
can do that
well,
too. Yeah.
But that's just up to you. Yeah, I don't know. Like for me,
It says Tim. Like,
You fucking
Well,
coward.
I mean,
fight,
you-
you fucking coward.
why would you not want to fight to get the experience?
Oh,
Like,
I don't know,
that's-
because sometimes I'm looking for a freaking Yowie or whatever. I'm on a Yowie hunt. So
I mean, well, that's the thing is like this game. It allows you to just play whatever
Yeah.
way you want. And
Yeah.
I feel like it does a good job of guiding you to the main quests.
Yeah.
But also giving you room to explore and collect things. And there is so many different things to collect that it does get a little bit addicting.
Yeah.
My biggest problem with the game is that it's just doing a lot of things.
Yeah.
And I'm like, so many times I kind of feel like, oh man, like I haven't watched the last 4 seasons of South Park. Should I just do that instead of playing this? Because it isn't challenging and it isn't that much
But
of
see,
a
I feel
game.
like for me, and maybe it's just the different level of gamers that we are, but like I feel like for me, they do a really good job of creating this fun world that I just want to keep going in it, right? Like I
Explore.
think, like I love all of the pull the curtain back. This is not really lava; it's Lego blocks.
Yeah.
And like how the Cartman's mom at the very beginning is like, "Sorry, officer, yeah, someone's put lava on my steps," and like just doing that in the cars, like car.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it kind of reminds you, hey, you are in like a kid's imagination.
Yeah.
I think there's levels to it that has kept me going for at least 6 hours.
I mean, that was my thing from it too. I understand what you're saying because there was definitely a moment when I was playing it where I was like, man, this is not that far off of Life is Strange or a walking sim
Absolutely.
like that, right? Where I'm just walking around to get the story and engage in it and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, but I'm okay with that. What took me to it was the fact of going through and marveling at, all right, I mean, I'm a huge superhero dork, so like being able to put on the costumes, build it, color code it the way I want it, great. The unlocking new better ones like the Wonder Woman one, or the Supergirl one. But then yeah, getting into, all right, cool, lava's here, and this is how they've constructed this, and this is what that is, and how they see the fight happening. It was like, man, this is like, I wish, in a way, without all the fucked up South Park parts of it, that like I had this childhood, that I had this group of friends that were so into it that we were gonna role play
The
this
whole
entire
town knew
time.
about it. You're just LARPing constantly.
And
in
so that
real
was the
life.
thing of like that was enough to keep me engaged or keep me there because I felt my game clock was 18 hours at the end, which is like give or take a little bit, right? Because I'm sure I let it sit for a while and more like 17, whatever. And it was like that was the hook to it. And the other in the hook to it is that it's a really funny game. It's a really fleshed out world. I don't think it's as funny as Stick of Truth. I think Stick of Truth was funnier,
Really?
but I also think I'm grading on a curve, which isn't fair.
Yeah.
Where I think Stick of Truth, if you remember, we were all like, well, let's see how this game's gonna fucking come together. And then I remember going to that preview event with McCaffrey and leaving and be like, that was a lot of fun, right? I really, and then sitting down and playing it and constantly texting him and Brian Altano and be like, this game is laugh out loud hilarious. I've never played a game like, and it's good. And like, it had technical, Stick of Truth chugged. I remember it had
PS3
so many problems.
was one of the worst.
And it was that, all right, cool. Jumping into this one, I think I knew what to expect. And so that might have taken it away to an extent. I felt like it was a slower burn. I felt like when I got to the end, because like I'm playing through and it's like, Stick of Truth. I'm fighting people. I'm fighting the little gnomes while my parents fuck above me. I'm fighting aborted fetuses. And it was like, man, all right, like we're playing this game. And it's like, all right, cool. And then there was one moment that I won't ruin for anybody, but it's in the cell phone shop where you have a battle. And I couldn't continue the battle. Like I was in hysterics. And Jen was playing Stardew next to me and was in hysterics. Like it was the most outrageous, this is so fucking funny. And then from there is really where I felt like a couple more battles that came along and really cranked it up. Like there was another like boss battle towards the end where Jen's like, how are they going to do this and not get sued? And I was like, I don't know. Maybe parody.
That's South Park, but man, I
think
think that
with the
this
Morgan
shit is
Freeman shit.
this shit is funny as fuck.
Yeah.
Like, I think this game
It's
is
really funny.
so funny, and the best thing about it is how authentically South Park it is. And for me saying like, oh, I feel like I'd rather just watch South Park. It's like I feel like this is beyond just a good episode of South Park. Like this feels like a good season of South Park condensed into an experience. So like I'm complaining just to complain, I guess. But,
No, it's
my problem with it, like the reason I'm critical is the gameplay. I enjoy the battle system in this better than Stick of Truth.
Yeah. Oh,
I
wow.
just wish it went deeper. I just wish there was more because it is obviously inspired by games like Fire Emblem and Disgaea and things like that. And I understand I'm not going to get that depth out of this. I just feel like it could go a little bit deeper. Now, having said that, something I really like about the grid system they use is because it's such a small playing field and it's never like this large ass multi-screen thing you're going through. The way that the characters' attacks, where it shows you what each attack does, like you can see the red squares or whatever, and most of them are either straight in front of you or one straight line around you.
Right.
That was cool. And again, I'm only 6 hours in, so I'm not.
Yeah,
like,
you get at some point there are some that cross.
I go, yeah, there's there's the crosswinds and stuff, and I'm like, oh, this is really awesome. But I just don't see the game ever getting to a point that actually requires you to
master
think.
that system.
Well, have you thought of like upgrading? Have you upped the difficulty if that's the
I
complaint?
did. So I ended up
You're
upping
on master?
to that, and it doesn't affect it that much.
Yeah.
And if anything, it just makes it like there's just more to do instead of it being like more of a challenge in terms of having to be in the right place at the right time. And it just sucks because I just want more of a game out of it because it does feel like a walking simulator a lot of the time.
And that was the thing, Jen.
A great walking simulator though.
Jen watching it for the most part is like, this could be a mobile game outside of like this, but like the way it's doing, like, yeah, 100%. And that's not like an insult
And
to it.
honestly, I feel like it would be even better because one of the things I like doing the least is using the detective mode or the hell it's called, and like to throw the poppers and all that stuff.
Oh.
It's like touchscreen would be awesome for that.
Sure,
Didn't
sure,
they
sure.
make a mobile game?
Yeah, they have.
They did, but
Battery Destroyer or some shit like that.
I never
read
played it. I didn't know how
Yeah.
similar it was to the actual game.
Yeah,
Or
I don't
if
know either.
at all.
No, it's an interesting one. That kept the combat fresh for me was the ability of first off unlocking new party members and putting them in there to find a squad you liked, and then also the way they use the subclasses, where you pick a character profile of your speedster or whatever in the beginning, but then after like day 2 or leading into day 2, you get another one, and like by the end, spoilers, you have them all unlocked. So you really get to go through and start cherry picking moves. Especially, it's really helpful, going into that second class where you're like, all right, I've done a handful of battles. I know what I've wanted. Like,
Yeah.
fuck, why can't I
wish I
shoot?
could heal. I wish I could
exactly
do this,
exactly.
like, whatever.
Are you still limited to 3 moves?
Yeah, 3 moves in an ultimate. Yeah,
Okay.
but you can start like now you're playing on like cards, right? Where you're picking and choosing what your deck looks like. and putting
The
it in
ultimates are amazing. The summons
Oh, yeah.
are amazing.
Dude,
Like, there's
oh my
so
God,
much-
the
the
summons?
first one you get which is the what is the
Torah.
macaroni pie Torah or macaroni thing where it's
Picture.
like Moses, but it goes into like the Tron. Fucking awesome.
Meanwhile, at the Super Friends base, or
I didn't even see that.
You haven't seen that one yet?
No.
You get a is it a Torah or is it the Star
It's
of David?
called the Torah thing. I mean,
you get a Star of David macaroni
Star of
picture.
David macaroni picture, and when you summons it, it heals everyone in the group. But it goes to like a cutscene where it's like this Tron-esque like figure, and he's like, "I'll save you."
Do you remember? You remember when they introduced that Moses, the like
Wasn't
he
it-
looked like Zordon?
Zordon.
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah, I did get there.
He's
Never
in there
mind.
as a
I did
summons,
get there.
yeah.
I really like Super Craig's.
Everything. Super Craig's amazing. In this
Super
game.
Yeah.
Craig's everything.
I just love his
amazing.
ultimate of like the little hamster, like
Oh
the
my
live
fucking
action
God.
hamster.
Oh yeah.
so
It's
funny.
fucking
Yeah,
good.
but in general, Super Craig I think is one of the standout characters for me, and just like I love he's the one of the group that doesn't take it seriously, so everybody shits on him during battle of like, oh man, if you could put half the effort, and then he's like, shut the fuck up or whatever. And he's like talking to Kyle, and he's like, oh man, I never thought kites were cool till I never thought I'd think kites were cool. And he goes, thanks, give me a second chance. Like, who said I said that you were cool?
how did you guys feel about the toilet mini games?
I'm used to him. I'm expecting him.
Yeah, my thing with it is like it's another example of I think it's
That's
funny,
just
and
too much
whenever I
to
see
do,
one, I
yeah.
do it. But it's just like
It's a
that just
burden for me.
becomes
Those things are like a chore
Not
for
good.
me.
Is it
Rhythm
the
minigame.
same one from the first game?
No, it's different. It's different now. It plays out more
It's a
like a
rhythm
DDR
game.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
And it's interesting because like I would be all about that, but they're never really that challenging. And when they are challenging, it's because
They're using
fingers are
so
on
many
your
weird
different
fingers
buttons.
in weird
Yeah.
ass places where it's like hit R2 triangle and the analog sticks. And it's like, what the fuck? That's really weird. But I mean, again, it's just like there's so much in this game that is worth doing, and
Yeah,
it's
nitpicky.
fun
We're
collecting the
nitpicking.
shit.
Yeah.
But it's like, I this isn't going to be in my top 10 of the year. Like, that's where I'm coming down on it, where it's like, it's a great game, but I think there's been so many good games this year that this is just one that I'm like, you don't necessarily need to get it right now. Like, when it is time, when there's a drought, go through and play it, but like, I'm not like rush out and buy it. Where does it come out with you guys?
I mean, I love it. I think I had fun with it and I had a great time with it. I'm similar to you. I mean, I don't want to say it's not my top 10. I haven't stopped to think that down. It definitely wouldn't be high on my top 10. And I think when Stick of Truth hit, it was, holy shit, this is different. You need to play this. And this one is very much, this is another South Park game, which is great. It's more what I want. But you're right. You're on the money in terms of like, all right, cool. I'm going through all these different things to get there. Like it's at the end, and I'm not gonna spoil anything for the end. But at the end, like when they are really like, all right, cool. Now use every one of your powers, like the fart and fly and all that stuff. Like when I'm out collecting, that was fine. But then at the end, like they kind of put it all together. It's like, all right, like can we go a little bit faster? Is there a way to automate this? I know how to do this. Whatever. Right. Yeah.
As someone who I don't love turn-based games at all, like. Really the only one I ever cared for was Pokemon growing up, and like I tried Final Fantasies, it just was not for me. And I really love this game. I don't know where it'll fall in top 10, just because Wolfenstein 2 and Mario and Assassin's Creed. We got to wait for all those fucking games. But yeah, I'd put that out on Twitter, and some guy replied to me. He was like, "That's such a great endorsement." He's like, "Because this is a game I would not have played because it's turn-based, and knowing that somebody else really enjoys it, even though it's turn-based, is like a good sign."
I think that's the powerful part of the game. That's actually what you think is one of its weaknesses, is the fact that the turn-based combat, you can wrap your head around. And I think we jump in, and after a while, you're like, oh, okay, I got this, whatever. But there's also that part of, I didn't lose any battles on normal. Like I was able to get through that, which kind of sounds shitty, I'm sure, to some people, but to me, who just wants the story and wants to go through, I was like, all right, this is fun. I'm glad, because like some of the battles at the end get kind of long and there's multiple waves, and it was like, oh fuck, I better start using my items correctly, and like shit, let's revive him but wait on him and not do her, and like there was a bit to it, but it was never like, fuck, that's my 5th time failing and I'm that close, and I don't want that in this kind of game. I'm not looking for that in South Park.
I think if the system were you're looking for a deeper system turn-based wise, if it were any deeper, I don't think I would like it.
Sure. I don't like it either. It's like RPG light.
Yeah.
But my thing is from
basic.
From South Park and from the style of game this is, I would just rather a bit more challenging, not like super hardcore, but a bit more challenging, and then the entire package being a bit like just condensed, where it's like every battle matters instead of
there's being a lot of battles.
At the end, that's the only reason I have a problem with it, is like, how many times do I need to beat up the 6th graders?
Right.
Like that's funny the first time.
I hear you on that. No, because that was the same thing at the end when like Raisins, the girls would come after me like, I'm not going to do this right now, and just keep going. Like I'm not in the mood to fight you right now. Right. And like you think like it's long in the tooth making you do stuff. Wait till you get to the end of this game, because this is one of the best examples recently of like, oh fuck, I'm about to beat it. Oh wow, there's more. Okay, well here we go. All right, well now I'm almost okay. Fuck, and like, well, I'm gonna beat it. Still, and like where Jen looked at me like 1 in the morning, and she's like, "Is this game going to end? Like you started at 10:30 thinking you were about to beat it." I'm like, I think I'm almost there. Hold on.
Yeah,
it's great. Give me a game where the encounters are like you get into a counter and it's real time combat. I would love to see a South Park game that's like a beat 'em up brawler, like how they did Scott Pilgrim.
No,
I love that
those
shit.
games are so dated, and you want to get the humor. There wouldn't be the whole turn-based works so great.
It allows for the dialogue.
They can have
Did you play that Nintendo 64?
Yeah,
South Park game.
The first-person shooter. Yeah, that was fun.
Oh man,
I'm enjoying it though. Yeah, I can't wait to play more. I didn't expect that, but I.
Nick, are you gonna stick around anymore?
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna play more. I don't know if I'll beat it. I'll be honest with you. Like my attention span for it's already starting to wane, but I want to play. I'm good for at least 2-3 more hours of it, just to see if it keeps going with me.
Yeah, 18 hours. That's kind of scary.
18 hours scares me a little bit.
I thought it was like a 12.
That's what I
game.
said earlier, right? That sounds high, but I'm pretty sure from before.
I'm not getting 18 hours.
You told me 15 before you beat it.
I think I was at 15. Okay, yeah. You asked where I was, right?
As I was as I was about to start the game, I was hoping I wasn't gonna like it, and I was hoping it was gonna be bad, so I could just dig more into Shadow of War, and I ended up loving it. So it's like, fuck. There's 2 games that I love.
It is funny as hell,
right,
and the presentation is on another level. The fact that this is a video game is mind blowing because it looks like South Park.
Yeah.
So nuts.
Yeah, it runs really well. I hadn't heard about the technical problems. I had a flawless run, and I thought it ran really well, and it was nice after Stick of Truth having so many problems on PS3 that the loads to go super fast. Transition. It would be that thing of like, I'm gonna go over there and load screen pops up and I try to get my phone out and I wouldn't even be able to get it out in time. I'm like, fuck, that's good.
I think Jason Schreier is the one who wrote the.
Well, he's a fucking lying piece of shit, apparently.
Oh, he's not.
Someone had to say it.
I'm glad it was you.
Any closing thoughts on South Park?
I think it's fun. I think to Andy's point, like if you guys, if you're not thinking about playing it and you're looking for something a little bit more casual and fun and just want to laugh a little bit, definitely give it a shot.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to. I'm gonna go back. It's interesting because we'd done the story on Games Daily about them announcing the season pass, and somebody asked like, "Oh, is this what you guys would have wanted out of Stick of Truth?" And I was like, I don't remember finishing Stick of Truth and wanting more. Whereas this one, I'm like actually jonesing to get home tonight and play them. There's missions I still have left. There's trophies for me to knock out. I don't know if I'll go back and play it again. Because I need to go back now and play as black character on Mastermind difficulty to get that trophy, and I'm like,
do the whole thing.
Yeah, and I'm like, you can't skip like cutscenes and stuff. I was trying. Maybe it'll know now or something. If I do a second playthrough, it'll let me. But before it couldn't, and I was like, I don't know if I have that in me again because it's too much to play. Too much
Nick
to
and
play.
Andy, thank you guys for joining us.
Thanks, guys.
You can go back to whatever it is that you're doing.
Yeah, what do you do around here? Oh, looks at Gundams. I forget.
Yeah, no,
Jesus Christ.
pretty sick, sweet Gundams though.
Got some sick Gundams, man.
Devin, what have you been playing?
Well, we talked about this yesterday. We just bought a house, and she started her business and everything. And so, since we're going through this little transition, I bought Destiny 2 because I figured that would be something that I could play the longest.
You're like, all right, I'm spending a lot of money. I only want to spend $60 more.
Yeah,
I got South Park and all that other stuff. They'll come later.
Yeah.
What's the one game I can spend a lot of time with?
Yeah, Destiny
2.
So I did, but I already got to 305. So,
Didn't take you as long as you thought, huh? Didn't
Didn't.
keep you around as much as you thought it would.
but I'm still I still do the weekly.
Yeah, I was gonna say you're
challenges
coming
and
back for
stuff.
that and Iron
Yeah.
Banner and all that
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah.
So I mean, I'll still get plenty of time out of it.
Okay.
That's what I've mostly been doing.
What is the next game on the horizon then? I know you put your money in Destiny. What are you waiting for next then?
I mean, there's so much. October
I know.
27th,
Well,
man.
Yeah, I know. So are you getting them
Day of
all?
Dreams.
Well, I might get Shadow of War next because I've
Okay.
already pre-ordered my 1X, and so when that comes in, I'll probably
You want that
get
showcase title.
I do. I want something to show it off, and I want to get it because if you played, what was the first one? Shadow of Mordor.
Yeah.
If you played it on whatever system and you get the sequel, same system, your Nemesis transfers from the first game.
Gotcha.
Or one of them or multiple, I don't know. So I want that experience to see how that goes.
Yeah.
I love the Nemesis system. It was awesome.
That's cool.
And I am surprised not as many games have done anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you
Since-
think more people would rip that off, right?
Yeah.
Because it was such a thing that people really dug.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Destiny 2 with you, Greg. Are you still going back at all? Or
Plan is still to platinum it. It's just it's the normal thing that always happens. Just been on the road, and then now that I'm back, I'm playing other things. And South Park got here, and I wanted to focus all my time on that. And then Super Mario's on the horizon. So it's just that issue of I'm not 305. I can actually open my Destiny app and tell you. I
Look at
want to
your
say
character.
292 or something like that.
Have you been doing multiple characters though?
Yeah, that's not like hardcore enough to have that really be something I can hang my hat on and make an excuse about.
Because this is when I will probably get the platinum on because I did the raid.
Yeah.
And I mean, I can do 2 more run throughs with the other 2 characters, but then all I need is I think I need a prestige Nightfall trophy, and that'd be it.
Oh, really? That's
Yeah.
all you need now?
Yeah. I mean, if I do a run through with the other 2 characters to get the
Well, what about for me? It's that. So I'm 291 right now on my main hunter. 191 on my Titan. That doesn't really matter because all I need, the Titan's got, I just have to do more public events to pop the ability to go get the final 3rd subclass or whatever.
Yeah.
And once I do that, I pop that trophy, bail on him forever, make a Warlock, do the same
Yeah,
thing.
that's what I'm
And then
gonna
it
do.
would be the Prestige, I do a Nightfall, not the raid. And then what is it? Do trials and go meet that one guy. Win a trials
I do
match,
need to do a
which everybody
trials.
talks about how tough it is. But
I've
Sean
read-
Pitts swears to me that he can just get me on his team in one weekend, hopefully this weekend, beat one fucking round and be done with it.
I actually forgot about the trials one,
Yeah.
so it may be a little harder than I thought.
Well, it sounds like if you just have a good team, you know what I mean, they can pull you through and do and get it done with. But yeah, I still want to platinum it. I still think that's obtainable. I still think that'll happen. Yeah.
what else have you been playing?
Right before this, I tried to do Friday the 13th. Friday the 13th, if you haven't heard, is game of the year, except it's broken all the fucking time. It drives me crazy. So, no, I love Friday the 13th, and last weekend was Friday the 13th. They had the double XP weekend. We're like, we're going to fucking stream it all day. Me, Cool Greg, and Joey will do it all afternoon. I'm going to rake in this double XP. Nom, 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 eat it up, have it rain all over me. And sure enough, we start the stream, and the fucking servers are garbage, and you can't make it happen. So we'd do a match and then it would crash or whatever, and we just eventually gave up. But that night, of course, I went home and played more with kids and got a group together and got the trophy I needed for doing playing as every different counselor and then playing as every different Jason, which I need the double XP to help me bump up faster to the level.
You gonna get that 1,300 kills or whatever it is?
You know what I mean? Like Joey asked me when I was on Saturday, she was gonna come over and her and Jen played Stardew and I played streamed Friday the 13th. And when I was starting to rattle off why I was doing it, she's like, "Are you trying to get the platinum in Friday the 13th? Because if you're unaware and you've missed me bitch about it before, horrible fucking trophies,
Fucking disaster,
terrible fucking trophies." And where it is, get 13 kills or whatever the fuck it is, weird shit like that. Where it's just like that's gonna take forever. However, it is the thing of like it's been a long time since I've never cared about a competitive multiplayer game like I care about this game. And it is that thing of what I was about to lead into is the fact that I just tried to play it. We had 20 minutes before, and I was like, let's get a fucking match together. So I hit up kids on Twitter, had my 7 people all set to go. Cool Greg was ready to play, and we jumped in, invited everybody. Almost everybody got in the lobby. The last guy tried to connect, crashed blue screen. Do it all again, crash blue screen. Do it again, and I'm like, I kept thinking, well, this guy tried to invite somebody on his own. Maybe that's what did it. Don't invite anybody. Invite everybody. Then it was, all right, this is the guy I saw trying to join when it crashed. Don't invite him. It all crashed over and over and over again. I'm like, fuck that, and jumped into Fortnite, which I'll get to in a second. But to the thing where it was, Joey's like, are you really trying to platinum this? And I'm not actively like, yeah, I'm going to platinum it. But there is this thing in me of like, if we can just stop the fucking random ass crashes for no fucking reason because the servers are garbage and the code sucks, I'm going to keep playing this. This will be a game that it is going to be like, hey, let's do how people treat Battle Royale on Fortnite. Like, hey.
It's so we were at lunch. It was me, Joey, and Andy.
Yeah.
And we were talking about, like, somehow Friday the 13th came up. And we just don't get it. We just don't get how you are so obsessed with this game and play this game in the way people play PUBG or Mario Kart or Smash Brothers.
It's the exact...
Yeah.
I mean, how do you not get it? It's the exact same
it
thing.
It seems like such a weird game that's broken as fuck. And it's just like all those other games work.
I mean, when it does work, though, it works so good.
Yeah. I don't believe Joey didn't believe it. Joey loves that game, too.
Well, she was part of the conversation.
Okay.
Well, it's just like I look at them and it just seems like such a game that I understand that you're a big fan of.
Yeah.
And that you're like, hey, it's something I like. But it's just think that you're going to keep going back to it for so long to the point that you might get 13 kills.
Yeah.
That sounds crazy to me.
The dangerous element is when I start popping the other ones. When I start hitting like the other milestones, you know what I mean, of whatever they are, and I don't have them in front of me, but like either 100 or 500 or whatever. Yeah. When you hit one of those, it's going to be like, well, now I'm close.
It's going to be in your mind.
And that's the thing where it's going to be like,
there.
what if we just did an extra live stream or whatever for 2 hours, and I was like, all right, everybody, we're not really playing the game. Just run up to me. Let me kill each one of you, and we'll do this over and over and farm it that way. And like, I'm not to that point. I don't think I will. I've heard other people bitch that trophies are broken, but people do have the platinum now.
They have the Friday 13th platinum?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you cheese it, it's not that. I mean,
I guess
that's the problem. Is it's such a shitty trophy list. You're gonna cheese it to get it. Like, there's no one's actively just played that happen. Killing Jason is so fucking stupid and complicated that it's like, all right, clearly you probably have people doing that with you. And I know people have popped it in the wild on their own or whatever. But no, it sucks so much that the first game I'm really into that's like multiplayer like this and is like, hey, I got 20 minutes, let's play, is so, I don't know why this has got to be so fucked every time I want to use it, right? Because it's so demoralizing of like, man, I'm not making it. In the beginning it was, they were a small developer. They are a small developer. They didn't know what they were getting into. I understand launch weekend woes and all this shit. And then double XP the first time, everything went to shit. All right, they're trying, they're Gun and Ilphonic are still doing what I always want developers to do. Over communicating, here's our roadmap. Sorry, this was broken. Here's your reward. But I don't understand how it keeps getting fucked up like this.
Well, when they started, they weren't even Friday the 13th. They were like Camp,
whatever they were going to call
whatever it was.
Yeah.
And then they got the license, and that's a lot of pressure to be
sure.
put
But
on
I mean, now like you would hope, and we don't know developers, and I've reached out and invited them on the Gamescast, of course, as a fan, but then also to ask questions like this of just like, I don't understand how the checks have come in. You know how much you sold. How has that not been poured back into servers? Similar to Rocket League. Rocket League melted, right, when it first launched on PS Plus, and it was this giant phenomenon. And Psyonix did the right thing then, like Gun did of like, we're talking to you, we're telling you what's happening, blah, blah, blah. But then it's the counterbalance that, well, Psyonix seemed to have poured that all back in to make Rocket League rock solid and have not issues every weekend. There's a big thing happening with it, whereas with Friday, it keeps happening. And so it is that thing for me of like, fuck, I really should stop playing this. I really should find something else. I should come back in months when it's fixed, if I care at all. But
if it ever gets fixed.
But the problem is that I'm still hooked on it, and I want to play it. And it's just that desire of like, well, so then today I was like, all right, whatever. Let's finally try Fortnite, and jumped into Fortnite and got 2 matches in before we started this show.
Right?
Yeah, Fortnite Battle Royale. Yeah, it's not Fortnite proper. And you got in there, and it's like, this is fun. Like I don't, I'm anxious to play more. I'm not, chomping at the bit to go more or champing at the bit, depending on what you're
I've been very interested to see how many people on my Twitter feed are playing Fortnite Battle Royale.
Yeah.
Like when it was first announced, I was just like,
Well, I think the news blew it up that
They were Epic was, or Blue Hole was mad
that
and
they
put
were
up
upset
statement.
about it,
But it
and
was-
that gave them so much attention.
yeah. But I'm
Yeah.
talking about like industry people that
sure.
that are
Yeah.
in there that are playing, and like I keep seeing people Twitch streaming it. And I'm like, whoa, they had more of a hook than I thought it would for people that like. What are they tired of PUBG or what is it?
I mean, with all due respect, I mean, isn't it just the fact that I would think, and you tell me, most of our people I follow in the industry, and most industry people are console players.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that's the thing, right? Like it's just easier to do that. Like that's why I'm playing it, and even playing it today, where I got my 2 matches in, and it's like, first off, is what everybody said about it, and again, I'm 2 matches in, so I haven't even built anything. You know what I mean? Like I brought up the wall thing, and I was like, I'm not staying here. I'm trying to move to the center of the circle. Fuck it. It's way more inviting than PUBG is. Of like, and now granted, this is my perspective as Greg Miller, console gamer, console fanboy, fuck PC gaming. It's just more inviting of like, I know I'm in, it's third person, I know how to play this, I know what to do, and then I'm running into houses and they're loaded with ammo and guns, and I'm like picking up different guns and leaving guns behind. Like I'm getting armed to the tooth right away, whereas PUBG was like, I got 4 fucking bullets and a handgun and a pot I'm wearing as a helmet. Whereas this is like, no, you're totally ready to go, and like seeing people and like shooting at them and getting, I'm in it right away, whereas PUBG.
That's so funny
Keep
because
going.
to me, like looking at Fortnite, and I love that Fortnite's the kind of first one to do it since, because Fortnite's built on that idea of build your base, build the blockade, do all that.
Yeah.
And that to me is the complicated element of it that I'm happy PUBG doesn't have.
Yeah.
Because PUBG, you're in it.
Sure.
Go.
Well, from what I understand, talking to Andrew and a few other people who play Fortnite, Battle Royale and stuff, is the building's really just about getting you to an elevated position and stuff. It's not, you're not building the way you build in Fortnite vanilla, where you're like building up a base to defend it. Like you're trying to get to the center of the circle, and then I guess you worry about it. But I just got killed at being 21 right out of 100, so it's like I haven't gotten to end game Fortnite Battle Royale to really see what that's about. But it is that thing of like, I'm anxious to get back in there and do it again, and it is exactly what I wanted out of the Friday 13th 4 fails of like, hey, we have 10, 15, 20 minutes to kill here. Well, I'm going to jump in and do this real quick and see what it's all about. But it's the similar thing of like, and this is terrible, but it's what I talk about, right? Of like, there's no trophies in it. And that's a issue for me, right? It's early access. It's not a full-fledged game. I get that. And I don't mean to sound like a trophy whore, even though I clearly am one. But like, if I'm putting 20 minutes into something, I'd like it to matter, if that makes sense. Like I'd like to be building some kind of stat or something, whereas like Friday 13th, at least I'm jumping through a window, I'm getting closer to this. Like there's the mini rewards, right? Which I know sounds so stupid, and people always talk about, I don't get trophies, the gameplay is the reward, yada, yada. And I get all that, and I agree with that. But the reward in PUBG/Fortnite, right, is the chicken dinner. It's becoming one or getting close. I'm like, oh, fuck, I can do better. Which I get out of Fortnite, and I'm going to keep playing it, for a little bit there. Whereas with Friday the 13th or anything else, Friday the 13th, I'm filling in my XP number overall, which is I still have to work for that new Jason who's 41 or 44, level 44, and I'm 32 right now. It's the fact that if I want to say, fuck it, I died early, but I did jump through a window, so I know I'm doing that, or I trapped him in a trap, so I'm chipping away at that trophy. Like it's those little in a game that is a game, games as service. I like the smaller carrots at the end of the stick that keep me going to the next one of the larger goal.
Role-playing elements within the game of leveling things up.
Yeah.
And even if it's not properly leveling up, it's getting this many out of that many
Yep, getting
things.
badges, doing all those
Still
different things.
feels like you're doing something.
Is there something in the game like that? I
Which
mean,
game? Fortnite?
Yeah.
Hard for me to say.
I guess you did just start it.
I just did it, and I was trying on the screen. I'm like trying to figure out what button to customize my character or my look. couldn't figure that out. Jumped in. The character that I was, it was just a normal army-looking white dude, but both the times I dropped out of the battle bus, like, I was a different character, so I don't understand how that is, if that's just random every time, which I'm fine with. I was just like, oh, that's not what I was expecting, but it's fun, it's colorful, it runs well. I had fun with Fortnite. I want to keep playing Fortnite. But yeah, it's this weird thing with these games and services of like, it's just, like Fortnite I like, and Friday the 13th I like that there's like, this has an ending. Whereas like I'm like, oh man, I like on the PS4 at work I have Marvel Heroes downloaded too. Where I'm like, oh man, maybe I'll chip away at that and do some stuff there. But it's like, well, that game just goes on. You know what I mean? Like I don't want to go on. I want it to be, hey, this is a 20-minute match tops.
You're good.
You know what I mean? And I'll be done or be out of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is why like I'm pretty stoked about PUBG in general on Xbox for the same reasons.
Because it's just every match is different thing, and you're gonna love that experience.
Yeah.
You know, and even if you get first, or even if you die at 90, it's like that is a story in itself, right?
And it's a similar thing of like, I was talking to a friend in New York when we were out there, and I was like, man, I really got to try GTA Online. But GTA Online is the same way, I feel, of just being like, I'm going to download it and get in it, and it's just going to be 20 minutes of fiddling with my character and never doing anything.
I say we commit to GTA Online.
I haven't played
As
it
a
in
group.
so long.
Okay.
Like we should. For party mode alone, I feel like we should really like figure that shit out and understand it, because there seems like there's so much going on there and so much fun there.
Like every few weeks, every month, I see more stuff added to it, and I haven't played it in so long. I don't even know how it works, because I tried it when it first launched, and if you remember, when it first launched,
garbage.
it was awful.
That's why I never
you
played it
couldn't
again.
even get into it for like a month.
Yeah.
And so once it kind of finally settled out, I played it a little bit, and I kind of got the idea of what it was. But it's completely different now.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, you look at what they've done with that, and they clearly looked at their community and how are they using this tool and what are the different groups, and all right, we'll reward them all with that. And so yeah, I'm down. I'm totally down.
All right.
Do you have it?
I do not. I do not. I have it on PS3.
I'll draft it.
The issue. So I haven't played too much because South Park has been what I played the most of.
And you're a
I
coward.
did beat Cuphead finally, which I'm very, very, very proud of. No one has made me a trophy yet. I'm a little upset about that because I need it. But yeah, no, Cuphead, just as fantastic as I've been saying it was. I loved the final boss. I will say the second to last boss is my least favorite thing about that
the
game.
Dice
Man.
Dice Man?
Oh man, it's infuriating, and it's one of the few times where I'm like, it's not fun to play against it, because it's too long, and at the end of the day, every other boss fight takes between 1 and 3 minutes max to beat. Dice Man takes up to 8 to 10 minutes to get through his whole thing, and it's frustrating to get to the end part and then die and have to do it all again, and there's a lot of dice roll. It's a whole thing.
So I haven't played Cuphead yet. That actually might be the next one I get. But on that one, I've seen some videos of you're like in a casino or something, and you're going, and there's ones that say start over or something like that. You're just rolling a dice and rolling a number and hoping that you don't win.
Fucking hoping you don't hit that
Game of
start
the
over,
year.
because then you start over. Now, here's the thing. The dice, and this is something that I learned over time, you can control the dice rolls. It only goes 1 to 3, and if you parry at the right time, you do get the number that you want. However, it's hard.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like split screen thinking where you have to like get it at the exact right point, or else you don't get the number you want, and that could be the difference between starting over or not. But then the problem is like the boss fight at the end of that is challenging, and you don't get the trial and error ability to do it over and over and learn from your mistakes, because you have to do all this other shit to get to it.
It's like classic
I gotcha.
boss battles in like
Exactly.
an NES or SNES game.
It was the first time in Cuphead that I felt the pacing was off.
Yeah.
But then once I got past it, I felt so fucking good, and I beat the hell out of the final boss, and I was so happy. What an amazing game.
I gotta
love
play it.
You
I gotta
do.
download it. I haven't started
It's so good. And so then after I did that, I did go back a little bit and try to get all the extra coins that I missed and the little extra shit just because I wanted. There's no way that I'm gonna. What's the Xbox version of Platinum? Do they have a name for it?
1,000.
I don't
There's a
think they
1,000
have-
gamer
yeah,
score.
just 1,000
That's
gamer
it.
score.
Yeah, there's no way. I looked at Jeremy Dooley from Achievement Hunter got it.
He's an
And
idiot.
it blows my mind because the pacifist runs you have to do on the run and gun stages, I don't know how anyone could do it. But whatever. I'm happy with beating it. I can stop there. I'm playing a lot of my SNES Classic just because it is one of those things where I've beat these games so many times that I don't need to commit to going through them all.
Right.
But
Yeah.
when I have
Good
20
taste.
minutes here or there, like when Gia's making dinner and she's like, oh, it's going to be ready soon. I'm like, all right, pop it in, play F-Zero for a little bit.
Which is such a callback to your childhood of mom being
Yeah,
like, dinner's on in 20 minutes.
100%.
Like, all right, let me beat the level, huh?
But yeah, man, the SNES Classic is such a fun little thing just to have. And such a great lineup of games, and I just love that so many of them are just pick up and play, and I'm like, oh, this is great. But then there's longer things you can get into too, like Final Fantasy or Earthbound and all this stuff. If you've never played them, obviously it's a great way to play them. But yeah, that's pretty much been it for me.
How's the cord length on that SNES? I know it's longer.
Infuriating. Nope, not long enough. Not nearly long enough. I need to have an HDMI cord come out to the system, to my game, so my system's just in the middle of my floor,
I gotcha.
and I'm not that far from my TV.
Yeah.
Like my couch is like right there, so it's kind of upsetting.
I think someone makes a wireless.
They
one,
do, they
like
do,
a USB.
But I don't really want to commit to all that. It's like my thing
All
is
these shenanigans.
like, yeah, like the virtual console. Once that hopefully eventually in whatever
yeah.
form comes to Switch, then I'll invest in whatever wireless controller they have that connects to the Switch. But
Well, I just use it. I haven't even docked my Switch ever. I don't even
Ever?
know. I don't know where my dock is, honestly.
wow.
That's awesome. Good on you. I like that a lot. It's weird. I mean, with my Switch, I never think of it that as a thing either, right? I was getting excited for Mario. And I was like, oh, yeah, it'll be great to get it. And like Jen can play or watch whatever she wants. And I'll sit and I'm like, oh, wait, we have the two TVs out there. I guess I could plug it into the dock, which is the same thing that happened over the weekend when I stopped playing Friday the 13th and streaming it. I went over and started cooking dinner, and Joey and Jen were next to each other on the couch, Jen playing on the TV, and then Joey still playing on her Switch. And after like 15 minutes, I'd be like, Joe, you can use the TV I was just using. Like,
Yeah.
you can use the other dock. She's like, oh, I guess I could.
Yeah.
And then she was like, I never use a Pro controller.
Well,
I
that's
haven't
the thing,
either.
is
So
sometimes
weird.
The Pro controller, like in my experience, I found the Pro controller is only really worth it if you're playing on TV.
Oh, sure.
Having it just in tabletop mode or whatever, it's like I'd rather just be playing.
Oh, that's
handheld,
stupid. No.
You know,
If
so.
you're, that's why I'm better at you in Mario Kart. Because like I'm telling you, when I'm on an airplane, I got
never
another
beat
thing,
me in Mario
I
Kart.
put it bullshit.
You haven't.
Stop. Get it right now. Just go
sorry,
get it right
hold
now.
on. You haven't beat me. Nah, you haven't beat me
Oh,
in
what a
Mario
coward.
Kart
You can't even-
since you've been good.
No.
Like
not-
since Mario Kart
Not
Deluxe?
true.
It's
Not
true.
true. Never in any race.
I mean, in any race of like importance, like us just fucking around, or whatever. But any like
Any race you win is not of importance.
okay, fine.
apparently.
Well, then you haven't beat me. Just period. I only ever played with you where you beat me.
Bullshit. Kevin, you got to be a fact checker on this. Is that true? I remember when we were playing here in the mornings when Mario Kart we were all over it.
I wasn't there.
Tim was never here.
That's what
so
I'm
I think
saying.
really you're just nice. So is it? Are you making that you're better than me argument, or are you making a Nick Scarpino argument of you? It's just never happened. So
I'm
it's-
saying it never happened.
Okay, thank you.
You don't
Okay,
know that you're
that's
better
fine.
than me.
Okay,
That's all I'm saying.
thank you. Now I'm all right with
let's
his
get on the same
argument.
page here.
Now I'm all right with his argument.
Yeah,
All right,
yeah.
all right. Sorry, I was confused there as to
Now
what's
it's time
happening.
for this week in gaming
coward.
history with the longest list of games of all time.
All
and
right.
man, it hit a
The
thing.
fall, man.
when you
we
hit
were
fall.
in June. We were in May. We were in whatever the fuck we first started doing this. I guess it was June.
Yeah.
June, July. Then it was like,
Nothing ever
maybe
came out
5 or
back
6
then.
games. And then it's like once we hit August, it was like more. But now that we're like mid-October,
Waterfall.
prepare for this. It's the waterfall. Longest list ever. 2 years ago, on October 16, 2015, Yoshi's Woolly Worlds came out on the Wii U. I just want to give that
Okay.
one a shout out because
Okay.
it was. Do you play it at all?
No, I never had a Wii U. So.
Oh,
Yeah, you didn't.
Well,
Smart man
then
right
they- But
there.
then they put it on 3DS and it didn't run as good. It's a whole thing. But
Did you like
anyway.
it a lot?
I liked it.
I played it. That's when I
liked
played
it
for a little
lot.
bit and just bailed. I was
Didn't
like,
love
whatever.
it. It was way better than Yoshi's New Island.
Was it better than Kirby's Epic Yarn?
That sounded like a Yoshi sound.
Kicking your legs.
It was better than Kirby's Epic Yarn.
Okay.
It was. 2 years ago on October 20th, 2015, Guitar Hero Live came out on PS4. So this was the re-ushering in of what was sure to be a fruitful future.
One
And
of
the
our
buttons-
most successful Let's Plays ever.
Top
on
buttons,
Ever.
bottom
Kinda Funny
buttons.
The Guitar Hero Live Let's Play of me and Alfredo playing is to this day, #1 video on Kinda Funny Games.
Wow, that's
Really?
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sucks that. I mean, it doesn't suck, but it was one of those things that came out and I played it and I was actually like, that's a game that we took home. I mean, and I played for a few nights where I was like, you know what, this is actually really fucking cool. And I'm rusty now as to what was cool about the like career mode, but it was cool. There was different things
Guitar
happening.
Hero Live was the one that was live action video. that
Yeah,
we
yeah, yeah.
did.
Real audience.
That I
What
didn't
were you
care
doing?
about.
It was fucking awesome. And
was cool,
the
black and
the
white
guitar
buttons.
was the black and white, so it was 3
Yeah,
and
yeah.
3.
Yeah, I didn't like that.
there was something
I
about the way
couldn't
it
get
unlocked
used to
shit.
it.
Getting used to it was impossibly hard, and I think that the fact that game came out, there was no saving that game. period. But the fact that it came out right next to Rock Band 4
Yeah.
was such a disaster because it's like I would never get used to it because then there's this thing that I'm used to. So playing that,
Right.
I'm like,
And that
oh,
was
cool.
the party
And you
game.
could-
That's
that was,
what everybody wanted you to
it
do.
was too
all
familiar.
your old songs transferred
Yep.
to
So
Rock
Guitar
Band.
Hero
so-
Live came out to like a very like bad.
Yeah.
It should have gone off on its own, yeah. Been before Rock Band 4 and then had a shot, but otherwise, no.
But my thing is, Guitar Hero Live, I loved it because it was more about score challenge and it was more about the difficulty and rhythm game. Like, people needed some prowess there to be able to get through it. But yeah, I could never wrap my head around it, and then other things happened, so it died.
I feel like more people played Guitar Hero solo and Rock Band with friends.
Absolutely.
100%.
Yeah. Another thing I would like to see come back. It's kind of Guitar Hero related. Dance Dance Revolution.
I'm waiting. I'm just waiting. Although it never really went away, and that says something.
I spent $200 on one of those.
The Cobalt Flux
the
ones?
huge foam
Oh, okay. The Rust Master,
dance
probably.
pet. I can't remember what it was called.
Yeah, the Cobalt Flux were the like actual professional metal ones.
Okay, not that one. It was like the step under that. I mean, I
fucking
was
love
like
DDR.
16. I don't know.
Yeah.
But oh my god, I played so much DDR.
Yeah, me too, man.
Unbelievable amount.
What's your favorite? home
DDR
mix?
Max 2.
I love Max 2. But Extreme, I think, has the best song list, but DDR Max 1 holds a very special place in my heart. Rhythm and Policeman. 6 years ago, on October 16, 2011, Skylanders Spyros Adventure came out on 3DS, PS3, Wii, and 360, kicking off Toys to Life.
The Skylander craze.
Being a
man.
whole thing.
They made it happen.
They took Spyro and they fucking crushed his hopes and dreams.
They finally
and
made him
crushed him
matter.
into this little thing and made him make a lot of money.
They finally made him matter. After years of obscurity. And
Fuck
being
Greg Miller, hashtag
worshipped
Unleash
by
the Dragon.
bad.
2018. Make it happen. 6 years ago, on October 18, 2011, Batman Arkham City came out.
Yeah.
On PS3 and 360. That feels like a long time ago.
It does, yeah.
6
Yeah,
years.
Yeah. Great game, though. Great game.
Yeah. 7 years ago, October 19, 2010, Vanquish. came out on PS3 and
Wow. The
360.
Ryan
One of-
Clements joint.
Yeah, one of the most disappointingly selling games of all time.
Yeah, that was the one where everybody's like, Platinum is awesome. Have you seen this game, Vanquish? You slide around and shoot shit.
Man, it deserves so much better. I'm happy that it got another shot. 8 years ago, October 20th, 2009, Borderlands 1 came out on PS3 and 360. That was another one that, like, I mean, let's see, what year was that? I wasn't in IGN yet, so I wasn't even in the industry. And that kind of took me by surprise. I don't know if people kind of were expecting that to be a thing, but I remember when it came out, it was just like this super stylish intro with the theme song and all that stuff. It was like, this looks fucking cool, and the cell shaded and just the look of it.
The problem, the only problem with why Borderlands, I think, would have done even better, because obviously it did amazing, don't get me wrong, but the problem was the messaging leading up to launch it sounded so much like a game I wouldn't want to play, where they were like, we have infinite guns and you're gonna get this, and like, I was in the like, this is a classic video, the old classic IGN video of like Dave Clayman being Randy Pitchford, which was like first time anybody heard of Randy Pitchford, and that, like, I'm a celebrity, whatever, and like they throw knives and we were attacking each other and killing people who didn't get it, and it was like you're hearing about this game just like infinite gun combinations, this, that, and you're like, what is this? And they were pitching it as like, it is this.
It's the hardcore gamers game.
Exactly. It's the gamer shooter with RPG elements, which was like crazy at the time or whatever. And so it was like, what? And then when you got your hands on it and you played with other people, it was like, oh, I get it. And that was why, like, Clayman and Brudvig and stuff that would go home at night and do what people do now in Destiny and Raid and go after these Leviathan bosses over and over and over again, try to get better loot.
This one's for you, Greg. 8 years ago, on October 20th, 2009, GTA Chinatown Wars came out on the PSP.
Fuck yeah, it did. Chinatown
Yeah.
Wars is awesome.
Yeah?
Awesome game. That, you want to talk about a game Rockstar should put on the Switch. Just keep putting it out.
Have it on my Vita, still haven't played it.
You're a monster.
Chinatown Wars, if I remember correctly, was the 3DS game? Or,
Yeah.
sorry, DS game.
Yeah, right. Sorry.
Because
They
the
all blend
PSP
together.
first had Liberty City and then Vice City Stories.
Correct. Yeah. So this was the one that caught everybody's surprise when they put it on DS, or because it was like Rockstar's working Nintendo, and you're like, and you played it, and it's like, this is a GTA game. I'm selling drugs. This whole game, the whole thing here is that there was a economy in the game that you played that you were selling drugs, and you'd buy them in one part of town at a cheaper rate, and then come over here and sell them at a higher rate, and like, and it was like, this game's fucking awesome, and it's so fucking good.
I never played it.
You're an idiot.
And going back to something we were talking about earlier, 9 years ago, October 19, 2008, Rock Band 2 came out on PS3.
That was the one.
Rock Band 2, my favorite of the Rock Bands.
Hell yeah. Oh my god, you kidding me? It was amazing. Rock
Had a
Band 2 was
DLC,
awesome.
if I remember correctly. Like, that was the first one to to have the continuous DLC where
Oh, every week we're putting out songs.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of shit and like it all
Yeah.
adds on top of each other.
I'm
and
rusty at that.
There
other
was,
stuff.
I think there was a way, like if you had Rock Band 1 and you bought Rock Band 2,
You could put the
You can
disc
you could
in.
put
the
all
songs.
the,
Yeah.
like, not all of them, but like 95% of them you could put on the second game. So you automatically had this enormous list.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, Rock Band, I never fucked with it as much as Guitar Hero because I was in it for the more arcadey shit instead of the friend party stuff. But it was fun at parties.
Rock Band, man, that was the movement because that was it's funny you think about like my career and like games that like define them or whatever, but early years was Rock Band because I started IGN and it was that the first day of work there was an event or maybe it was the second day because I think it went home. Doesn't matter. Second day of work, which was the Friday before GDC, there was an event I went to with Jeff Haynes and it was downtown and it was a thing where it was an EA event. They Harmonix was up there talking not about Rock Band but like excited about what their next project might be, and behind them they had a real drum kit and a real guitar and a real microphone, and I had to do an interview with Alex from Harmonix and I was like, so he's like, I can't say blah, blah, blah. And then it was like, it's Rock Band, and then Rock Band was so popular with our group at IGN, like Hillary was so into it and Damon was so into it, and like we would do the thing where you would wrap work in that, well, not even wrap work, when we were wrapping our work at like 4:30, 5 o'clock, fucking Nick Scarpino and the video team idiots, a Craig Barrett and Ty Root would go in there and just fucking destroy the demo room. And then we'd all wrap and we'd go in there, and it was that thing where we'd go see movies and then you'd come back to the office and just fucking party and play Rock Band all the time. Like,
Rock Band was like, even at drinking parties, like house parties, people had Rock Band. It was just,
it's the way it was.
it was a group activity.
Yeah, man. Time and place. R.I.P. 9 years ago on October 21st, 2008, Far Cry 2 came out on PC, PS3, and 360. Was it 2 or 3?
3.
3 was the one where everyone was just like, similar to Vanquish, of just, holy shit, this
Yeah.
is an amazing game.
3's the one where it went on everybody's radar. It was like, holy shit, what the fuck is this? People love Far Cry 2. And there's depth, but
And even Far Cry 1. I remember like back in the day.
Yeah, Far Cry 2 in terms of fandom is like if you liked Persona 3. You know what I mean? Like if you got on the train early,
That
you're
makes
like,
a lot
there's
of
something
sense.
here, guys. And then the next one is where everybody was like, what the fuck? Because that was the one where I'll never forget Far Cry 3. Where we were doing Game of the Year discussions at IGN and Mitch was reviewing it. And Mitch brought us all into a room and showed us a little bit of it. He's like, guys, this game is awesome. I know it's not out yet. We've got to vote before anything happens, but it's like it wasn't gonna work out. He's like, you gotta understand. And we're all like, whatever. And we left. And then we all played it over break and we were like, we've made a huge mistake. That game is awesome. Why did we all not listen to Mitch? He was telling us that game was great. I'm like, why didn't you tell me I could just kill turtles and make wallets? Like I was all about this.
11 years ago on October 17, 2006, Bully came out on PS2.
Yes, Bully. What a great game. Another one that I miss, but I don't want to go back and play again.
Yeah, it would be so hard.
It's a PS4 or PS2, PS4
yeah, no, it's
classic,
classic.
but it's like
even going back with that control scheme.
Yep.
and
No,
stuff
totally.
like
That's the thing.
that,
When
it's-
every time they're like, I remember when GTA 3 and Vice City dropped. And granted, they've been put out a million times now. But when you got it, you're like, yeah, you're like, oh my god, I can't use this. Oh, I can't rotate the. Oh my god, like Bully
know.
is in my head right now. Is this great game that was all? And I'm like,
Just
leave it
until
there.
they do a
Leave it
HD
there.
remaster from the ground up
Yeah.
or a reboot, whatever. I'm good.
Yeah, that definitely is helpful for a PS2 game. So luckily, 12 years ago on October 18, 2005, Shadow of the Colossus came out on
Oh,
PS2. And I'll
my
never need to play
God.
that one again because the new one's coming out and that'll fix the problems. And I'm so stoked for that.
see
What
if
a,
it fixes
what a
the
damn
problems.
game. It'll fix the goddamn
better.
problems, Greg.
I mean, Last Guardian didn't, so we'll see what they do here.
Well,
That's totally no.
yeah.
12 years ago, on October 18, 2005, Tony Hawk's American Wasteland came out on PS2. The interesting one, because it was the last real core Tony Hawk game that had the same type of progression system and all that. And it was also the first one to be cross-platform, where it was also a launch title for the Xbox 360, which would come out about a month later, which put me in a really weird spot. Because I was like, fuck, do I wait and get the next gen? Or do I fucking play it early? I played it early because that's the type of person I am. This is the first Tony Hawk game that had open worlds, where it was all one level, except it was really shitty because they just hid the loading times in the tunnels. To get in between
Oh,
each
I
section.
do remember that.
It was set in the 80s with the
Yeah.
all 80s soundtrack, all in LA.
That sounds cool.
And
Yeah.
it was cool, but there was so much shit to hold it back. And it was already on the decline of Tony Hawk games, where
Yeah.
it's like anything they were adding from a gameplay perspective was gimmicky bullshit that didn't make the game better. I feel like that stopped with 4 when they added like spine transfers and all that, because that was helpful for the game. Tony Hawk's Underground out of getting off the board, and that's when it was just downhill from there. And then eventually we
Thug.
did Tony Hawk's Downhill Jam, and that was horrible.
But then Tony Hawk Ride brought it all back.
Brought it somewhere. And then 12 years ago on October 17, 2005, Fire Emblem Path of Radiance came out on GameCube. My first Fire Emblem game. To this day, I think the best Fire Emblem game. It's old, so like I feel like Awakening and the 3DS games have fixed a lot of quality of life issues. But Path of Radiance is the one Ike's from, and it is such a great story, such a great game. Did you ever play it?
I never did.
Did you play any Fire Emblem? You should play Fire Emblem. There's a million of them now. 16 years ago on October 16, 2001, Devil May Cry 1 came out on PS2. God, I love that game. God, I love the atmosphere of it. The boss fights were fucking great. So happy it wasn't a Resident Evil game because it almost was. And man, it's Ebony and Ivory. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know.
Just Dante.
Dante doing his
He's just so
thing.
fucking cool.
Got his trench
This is back when
coat.
Hot Topic was cool.
Yeah.
Everything about that game was fucking cool.
Super cool.
Did you play it at all?
I played it for a while. Like my friend Adam, who was the one who waited in line for PlayStation 2 with me, I remember he got it and he was talking. And I was like, all right. And I tried it. I was like, this just ain't my kind of game.
Oh man, it was my time at games so
Good. Glad.
much. And then when Ninja Gaiden was coming out on Xbox, I was so stoked. For
I was
that.
all about Ninja Gaiden. Although that was a hard ass game.
It was a hard ass game.
So fucking
As
hard.
it should be. As the name should imply.
Absolutely. And I brought this up earlier on the Kind of Funny Games Daily Show. But 15 years ago on October 16, 2002, Timesplitters 2 came out on PS2, GameCube, and Xbox. Man, what a damn game. Did you guys play Timesplitters at all?
A little bit here and there, but we were more N64, still GoldenEye and all, or
Yeah.
Perfect Dark and all that jazz.
Well, I mean, this was after that.
I know, but I'm saying
you're
like that was
still-
our thing of like, well, it's got 4 slots. We don't have to buy the adapter. We're all just gonna play split screen down here.
Because the first 3 Timesplitters, which I guess were all the Timesplitters, God, they were so good. Like one was a launch title for PS2, if not first month.
I don't
Is that
remember.
Yeah,
correct?
no, yeah. I don't remember the exact.
It was
date.
real
Yeah.
early PS2. I didn't have one yet, but I would go over to my friend's uncle's house and we would just play the shit out of it. It's like, this feels like GoldenEye. And it wasn't until years later I'm like, oh, it was made by the GoldenEye guys. Like, this makes total sense. 2 just upped the ante with the storyline was super fun. Like, the campaign mode was super fun. So many characters and, like, the fun of Odd Job versus Jaws in GoldenEye, where it's just like, let's just have some stupid shit with dumb game modes. This game just was like, here's just that. You know, go for it. And then Future Perfect was awesome as well. And then this one I have no care for, but I did own it. And I'm hoping you might. And somebody on Twitter hit me up, like, you better include this on the list. So
Damn.
this is for you. 17 years ago on October 21st, 2000, Command & Conquer Red Alert 2 came out on PC.
On PC now.
Yeah.
Fucking Charles on yet dork shit happening here.
18 years ago on October 18th, 1999, the most important video game to ever come out happened. Crash Team Racing on PlayStation 1, the best kart racer ever. And then on...
What do you think? What are your odds at PSX this year? They announced that Sean Layden comes out and says
Dude,
that.
there's a chance. There is a chance.
Yeah.
It's either going to be the next Crash, Spyro Remastered, or Crash Team Racing something. I'm hoping remaster from the ground up. And then 19 years ago on October 21st, 1998, a game no one really's heard of called Metal Gear Solid came out.
4-disc PlayStation
on
game.
PlayStation 1.
Jesus.
Was it? It wasn't just 2?
4 discs.
For Metal Gear?
Metal Gear Solid?
I thought it was 4. Maybe.
No.
No, it was 2. Yeah.
Was it
Because
2?
Final Fantasy was 3. Final Fantasy 7. That was a much bigger.
Maybe that's what I was thinking of. I just remember multiple discs.
Yeah, it's 2 for
Final
sure.
Fantasy 8 was 4, if I remember correctly.
And even some 360 games towards the end of the generation ended
Had a
up
dual
being
disc. Final
Yeah.
2
Fantasy 13.
discs. And I was like, ugh. I started playing more PS3 stuff at that point because I just.
You're like, I can't fuck with
I'm
this.
not
I
about
get him
this.
to put these discs in and out.
Yeah, not about that life.
23 years ago, October 17, 1994, Sonic and Knuckles came out on Genesis, which was essentially the second half of Sonic the Hedgehog 3. 23 years ago, on October 20th, 1994, Final Fantasy 3 came out on the Super Nintendo, which is one of the best Final Fantasies, aka Final Fantasy 6 in Japan. 25 years ago, on October 21st, 1992, Super Mario Land 6 Golden Coins came out on Game Boy. One of the most underrated Mario platforming games of all time.
Is that the first Super Mario?
Second one. It
Okay.
was Super Mario Land 2, 6 Golden Coins. Super Mario Land, not that good. The first one. It was what you'd think of when you're like, oh, this is a Game Boy Mario game. Mario Land 2 was essentially like No, this is a Mario game. It has its own feel, its own vibe to it, its own power-ups like the bunny ears, and the all the different worlds you go to were super imaginative, and like there was one that was like toy-based and one where you go to the moon. It was awesome. And then
My first Mario game, was on Game Boy.
so it was in Mario Land.
Yeah, but I don't remember which one it was.
This one had it was Wario's debut. He was the boss.
No, maybe it was. I forget. I was a young
This
kid.
one was fantastic.
Okay.
26 years ago, Spider-Man came out on
PS1?
October 17, 1991 on Genesis.
Oh,
Oh, there it is. Right
I
there.
guess or 90.
Spider-Man.
Yeah, that one.
Okay, I played that one too, but I got a soft spot in my heart for that PS1
Neversoft one? Yeah, everybody
the
does.
Of course,
Neversoft one.
of course. And I didn't put it on the list, but it was also this week that Enter Electro, the
Two.
second Neversoft one,
Oh, yeah.
came out. Not so fun memories of that one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll just stick with the first one.
Yeah. But yeah, Spider-Man, I never played it.
Really?
The Genesis one?
Oh my
no,
God,
I played
did you
Maximum
miss out?
Carnage and what was the Super Nintendo one that was Spider-Man? Was it Spider-Man and the X-Men? Spider-Man and the
I was Sega kid, so I don't know.
whatever it was. I don't know.
Dude,
But
you missed out. That Spider-Man game was so
Yeah.
fucking
especially
good.
in 1991.
Yeah, yeah. It had so many cool mechanics to it of like you had to take pictures to get money so you could use it on web fluid. He had the idle animation. You could crawl on the ceiling at any time, and then he'd have the idle animation where he'd stand up and like cross his arms, but he's hanging upside down looking at you and shit.
That's cool.
It had a gruesome fucking ending I could never beat as a kid, but like where you'd get to Kingpin at the end or whatever, and the whole thing is that you get to Kingpin at the end and you've got to fight him, and behind him he's got Mary Jane tied up on a chain, and she's like slowly going down into either water or acid. It must have been water because it was like it wasn't until her face, and every time I would just not be able to get the boss pattern out as I'm a dumb kid, and like she'd go in and drown, and Spider-Man would collapse to his knees and grab his head, and then it would just end. And I'm like, all right, well, fuck, we keep going.
In
this.
the canon of Greg Miller's life,
Yeah.
Mary Jane is dead.
Yeah,
That's Spider-Man.
yeah, exactly. I could never, ever save her, but it was
While we're
so
on-
great.
While we're on the Spider-Man topic, I am Team White Spider. I love
I think it looks great. I'm
The
all about
White
it too.
Spider.
Once I get the game and I'm playing it, I'll be fine with it.
It
But
looks
just now,
so
it just doesn't know. It
God,
looks
that
really
game's coming
awkward.
next year.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
maybe.
I feel confident.
They say 2018.
I feel very
Well,
confident.
Yeah, it probably will. They did say what everything at E3.
Everything at E3
That
that had
had a
2018 was
2018
first
was
half
the
of 2018.
first
I'm
six
getting
months.
Spider-Man down.
Go for it. And then finally, 32 years ago, on October 18th, 1985,
This is
Super Mario
older
Brothers
than me.
1 came out on NES. A couple weeks ago, we talked about the Japanese release date of it, but this is in America. So there.
Yeah, remember you went back to your bedroom. You had to be there. You fought all the Sinister Six and stuff. Just great stuff.
Wow, that's a lot of shit for a 1991 game.
I really would love to go back and replay it. This is the Japanese version because I just bought it in Japan. Because like
It does look like.
this is my this is my touching dad story. Like
Yeah.
this one that's wrapped around this one, Spider-Man. So like every time I should buy it again on PS or just regular Genesis as well.
Now it's time for a little bit of audience Q&A. You can go to kindoffunny.com/Gamescast, just like so many people did. But before we do that, you had a question that you wanted to
You're a member of
ask.
the audience.
Yeah. I guess it's kind of a topic. What I want out of PlayStation and Xbox, I guess, but it's not as big of a problem with Xbox because we don't both have Xboxes, but we both have PlayStations. I want some kind of family share system where if you buy digital games and you are in the same house, you can both use those games. Now I know what you're gonna say. Switch the home consoles. Make hers.
Make
mine.
whoever's buying the thing
Yeah.
have the primary system be there. Because
Right.
are you up on all this?
No.
So like I didn't ever think about this until Jen moved in as well, and we used 2 PS4s there. Where on my PlayStation 4 that I've deemed my primary PlayStation 4. You've done this?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Because if you haven't ever done this, you're like, oh, I only use one PlayStation 4. It doesn't matter. Go into the settings, make it your primary PlayStation 4, so that if the power ever, or not the power, but the internet ever goes out, you can play all your games on there and not have to worry
Yeah.
about having to refresh licenses. I digress. One of the other powers of a primary PlayStation 4 is that it's my primary PlayStation 4. I buy 100 games. If you log into your account on that PS4, you can play all those games as well. Whereas if you were using my secondary PS4, I have those 100 games. You log in, every one of them would have a little lock on it saying you can't use it. Primary 4 PlayStation 4 share a library. Unprimary PS4s do not.
Got it.
It's kind of complicated, and we went back and forth trying several different ways to get it to work better. It just doesn't. It works how it works, and it is what it is. But that way we can share games on different systems. But the problem when you do that is you don't get some of the PlayStation Plus benefits. You don't get the auto upload your saves. You don't get the where you can go on your phone, tell it a game
Start
you
downloading,
want,
do the stuff.
tell it to download. It'll download to your system because it's going to download to her system.
You only can communicate to one primary PlayStation
Right.
4.
So what I want is somehow to be able, if we're in the same house, same family, to be able to have all my benefits, have 2 consoles, have a share.
Have 2 primary PlayStation 4s.
Yeah, because I don't want to buy 2 copies of every game when I
Yeah, you don't want to
could.
support developers. You don't want to support the video game industry. You want the free ride. I get it. Excuse me, miss! Excuse me, miss!
Of course, we support the developers.
Yeah,
We don't
yeah.
buy used games. We don't sell games back.
Okay.
Usually, and but I want to have those features because there's a story to this. It's a little bit long-winded, and I'm sorry to ramble here, but we were playing Beyond
Two Souls.
Two Souls. Yeah.
Ellen Page's breakout game.
Yes. Where you play, if you don't know what Beyond is, you play as, I think Jody is her name, the girl.
That sounds right. It's a J name for
Something.
sure.
And then you have Aiden, which is the spirit character that follows you around. And so we like to play a lot of games together. We try to find co-op games and stuff. That actually was a really fun one to play together. The game itself, not great, but playing together, she plays Jody and I play Aiden.
Yeah.
So if you're playing the game, you control both characters, but you're supposed to be, possessed, or not possessed, but followed around by this spirit that you can't control. It kind of does what it wants. The cool thing about when we played it is she literally could not control what I did.
Yeah.
And we would be doing stuff and she'd be like, hey, slap them around a little bit and just kind of teach them lessons. I'd be like, okay, I'll just go fucking start killing them. And she's like, no, it's not what I want. I'm like, I do what I want. So it was a fun game to play together, but we went through the whole game. We got to the very, 5 minutes left in the game.
Yeah.
The game crashes, which is not a big deal. Games crash. It happens. And restarted the game, went to load it, wouldn't load.
Oh.
What had happened was the game crashed while it was auto-saving. So since we have our system set up the way we do, we had no save before that. Nothing
Gotcha.
we could reload because it didn't auto upload.
Yeah.
And we try to do it like every couple days. We'll go and tell it to manually upload
Sure.
to the cloud, so we don't have stuff like this happen. But we hadn't done it with that game, so we had no save. And I tried everything. I deleted the game. I reinstalled it and everything.
That sucks.
So, luckily we were at the very end, so we just went on YouTube and watched the end of the game.
Yeah.
But still, those
Didn't
are
pop that trophy.
features. Those are PlayStation Plus features that I would like to have and still continue to have our games in the same family household.
Sure.
And I don't know why that's so difficult. I swear Xbox had something like that several years ago. And
Well, remember that was going to be Xbox One's whole thing, right? That it was going to be this bastion of entertainment, and you could share your library with anybody and do all these different things inside of your account. The reason it doesn't work on PlayStation 4, or the reason it is how it is on PlayStation 4, is that so many people abused it with PlayStation 3.
Yeah, I know they did.
The open fucking game trading.
But that's like
ugh.
the completely opposite
Sure.
end of
No,
the
I know you're wrong.
spectrum.
Like you want to talk about cracking the whip, right?
Yeah.
Overcorrecting,
You just put some kind of. I know there's a way those consoles know your address, or at least your IP address, or where
Sure.
you are.
Yeah.
I feel like they could
Enable location
enable
services or
something in there
Yeah.
where we're in the same. And even if I had to pay like 2 PlayStation Plus or like a super PlayStation Plus where it's like $120 or $150, whatever, I would be fine with that.
Yeah.
If I
How
could.
often does this rear its head for you guys?
Okay, so in that particular case, that's the only time it happened where a game.
Oh, I don't
crashed.
even mean that. I just mean the fact that you both want to play the same game, so you're using the primary system, that kind of thing.
It happens sometimes, like if she's already in the living room watching something and I want to play something in my room
Sure.
that she bought. No, hold on. It's confusing.
Now we need the string theory
Yeah,
chart.
I need a
Whiteboards
chart.
out here trying to
But-
explain it.
Yeah. So if it's something that she bought, I can't play it on my PlayStation.
Yeah.
I think is how it goes.
Okay.
And I'm telling you, it's confusing. We went through like an hour and a half, Googling, trying to figure out some way to make it work better. But
Yeah.
it
You're
doesn't.
not alone in this. It's a complaint I hear all the time from people about it. And it's one of
Yeah.
those that I know for me is frustrating as well in terms, and not to the level it is for you, but it is that thing of like, I've definitely gone home and been like, fuck, I didn't upload the save from work or whatever. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And there's no way for me to connect to this PlayStation to say, hey, upload the save, because if I
Yeah.
try to connect to PlayStation, I'm going to
It's
connect
going to be
the,
your primary
the
one.
one that's my primary, which is
Yeah.
the one right in front of me at home. And even with Jen now, where it is that she's playing Stardew on my PlayStation because she hasn't bought it herself. There's the few times where it's been like, oh, okay, well, start downloading this for me because I can't get on that PlayStation anymore to do it.
And if you have something that you pre-order, normally it's going to auto-download, the day before, 2 days before.
yeah,
And it doesn't do that. I got to remember if I pre-order something to go in manually tell it the day before to start downloading on my PlayStation.
right.
Because I think it'll
'Cause-
auto-download on hers.
Because she's got hers set up as a
because it's
primary.
switched, yeah.
Okay.
Very confusing.
Yeah.
Mm.
So
But-
this is just a please Shuhei moment.
Please, Shuhei, let us...
Let us have two
Be a
primary
family.
PS4s.
Let us be a family.
You're keeping the family apart, Shu. They just got engaged.
Nintendo does that sometimes with its multiplayer games, like especially the portable ones, where it's like you only need one cart to be able to play
Sure.
multiplayer or whatever, but then they don't have any type of infrastructure where that matters for saves or
Yeah.
Well, that's the
It's
thing. I
just
mean,
for the
don't even get me
multiplayer
started on
playing
Nintendo,
games.
right? Because that's the same thing with them, where it's just like, can we please fucking transfer saves and profiles or whatever? Like Jen is playing Stardew, and she would play it on Switch, but she doesn't have a Switch of her own. She just has a profile on my Switch, so she's like, I don't want to start on your Switch and then have you get into Mario and not be able to play it, and I
you
can't save that over.
All your
Your save
all your
data
saves
is locked to that one
locked
thing.
to the
is
system,
locked to the... I don't
the
even know
physical
that.
system.
Yeah.
For
So if you
now.
lose the system, it's all gone. Yeah. You'd hope they'd fix that. But it's
Man,
also like,
a couple days ago, I was looking into because every once in a while I start thinking about Virtual Console and
as
getting
you
really
do,
sad.
as we all do. We're all human beings.
But I was thinking about it. I was just like, all right, like obviously we're gonna get some hint at the future when the online infrastructure like actually officially launches, and they've pushed that. They've punted it over to 2018. But I was looking. I was like, has there been any update, any news article or anything about like more information? It's like, nah, it's still just 2018.
That's the last I heard, yeah.
I'm like, oh man, because I feel like that will come with a fix there.
Do you think they're going to fix the audio, like chat audio, where you have to talk to someone through the
the app?
phone? Or
No.
No, I think that's the thing is like once they launch their paid online service, I imagine a lot of these quality of life things will be part of that.
You'd like to imagine they will be.
You would, but I mean,
I don't give them that. I would like to imagine that's what happens as well. I'll believe it when I see it. When they're like, all right, now it's time to start paying for this thing. We're like, this thing sucks, so how are you going to do it? Oh, you
Yeah.
get a free game? No, that's not enough. No. Fucking can I save? Can we transfer saves? Can we get profiles? Can we do this? Come on, man.
I mean, I imagine that stuff's gonna come. I think that the moment that they start asking for money for this shit, there has to be at least some of those things, and I think if all of them will come to it, because like I think the majority of people are like, yeah, I'm playing Splatoon 2 online for free. Would that many people play online if they had to pay for it? I don't think so.
No, God, no.
Yeah.
So, next question comes from Christoph. Do you think Amy Hennig could return to Naughty Dog now that EA killed Visceral Games?
See, I thought about that too, but I don't know the full story of...
Well, nobody does.
Well, yeah, I guess no one does.
Well, I mean, the
Of-
people who
of-
know it aren't talking.
Of why she left. It doesn't seem like it was on the best of terms,
Yeah, that was a giant kerfluffle, right? Like,
but it... I mean, I guess she could. I don't know.
Where do you see Amy Hennig ending up now?
that's a great question. It's hard to say because like I said on Games Daily, right? Like I feel like it's gone one of two ways. Either it is that, hey, we're EA, and guess what? The future is in games as services, shared world shit. This game isn't that. We're gonna go away from it. Sorry. Or it is, hey, guess what? You guys missed a whole bunch of milestones. This blah blah blah. We're not gonna do this anymore. If it's the latter, then I feel, and I use that right. I was confused.
Yep,
Former is the first
latter.
one, latter's the later one. If it's the latter, I almost sounded smart for a second. Even though we'll never probably know that story circulates in the industry. right? And then is there a chilling effect then of, even if it's not Amy's fault, you know what I mean? But like the scuttlebutt when she left there was like, that there's been a disagreement. Like, of course, there's the infamous article that they got forced out. There was this, that, and the other. There's drama. And if there was drama here again on that level, does that suddenly make a Ubisoft go, ugh? Does that, you know what I mean? Like, it's that similar thing of when this all happened and she left Naughty Dog. I remember talking in Colin was always like, she can go wherever. A million people are knocking on her door. And granted, I bet right now, a million people are knocking on her door.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's as similar to like Kojima, like, you know what I mean? Where everybody, like, if it did go bad, it clearly went awkward at Naughty Dog. But if it went bad internally, right, I guess that means like overall Sony in general, PlayStation in general, right, that's a no-go. So then it's like, Ubisoft.
Yeah.
Ubisoft is still believes in single player story games. Now, granted, they also believe in the open world, but like, hey, let's get her on board and let's do an Assassin's Creed. Hey, you want to come in and do this or work on that?
Jason Schreier tweeted out a couple hours ago, like right before I came on, because somebody asked him about the whole Amy Hennig thing. He said, to clarify, the Visceral wasn't closed because Star Wars is a single player game or something like that.
Okay.
And then somebody said, well, why did EA word it like that? And then he responded, well, investors don't want to hear that the game is a hot mess or something like that. So I feel like it is something more like they weren't meeting deadlines or milestones or whatever.
And again, that's not necessarily on Amy or her part of this equation.
Right.
Like, obviously, you know how many teams make a video game. I'm not saying that. But that's the question of how does that shake out and where do you go? And the fact of like what I tweeted it yesterday, it's been 6 years since I've played a Amy Hennig game right now. Like, that's fucking crazy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And where that shakes out, where that goes, I don't know. It's also, you know what I mean? Like, where's her head at? Does she want to keep trying to do this? Like, you know what I mean? Of like making these games
it's like
where
two major projects in a row that did not work out.
I would think if you're doing AAA stuff, it's gonna be Ubisoft. I think it'd be a brilliant move if Xbox picked her up. We're like, hey, I'm Phil.
Oh shit! Yeah.
I'm Phil Spencer. We believe in gamers first. Amy Hennig makes games that are gamers first. We want that. We want an Uncharted. We want a single player story. We want an exclusive that you want to buy an Xbox One X for.
Wow.
That'd be an awesome get, but I don't know what studio you put her with or how that works.
Yeah.
But Xbox has plenty of studios to put people
I'm
with.
sure. Yeah. Wow. That would be awesome. Adam Levine,
What?
but it's spelled Lleveyn. I don't know.
Yevine?
How long do you guys think it'll be before Sony attempts to break into games as a service market with a first party game?
With the first part.
Another fascinating question. Exactly. I would hesitate. My guess there would be that they don't with a current current first party. I could see them trying to identify another third party, or a third party studio to bring in as a first party, another purchase, if they really wanted to. I don't know if they need to. They can just get an exclusive games as service on their own and do it that way. You figure that my reasoning behind this, of course, is that what I think you see with Sony first parties is that we know you're good at this kind of game. You guys are motivated to make this kind of game, make that kind of game. And I don't think you see that from them. Sony San Diego, right? Like, hey, we're the MLB, the show people, we do this. We're also going to incubate this stuff. Let's try to make some MOBAs. Let's try to make some free-to-play stuff. And they did. And none of them were runaway successes, and they all got, and the games went away, and the people got laid off. And I was like, ooh, that fucking sucks. And it's like, all right, hey, we're Sony Santa Monica. We've been known for God of War, these great single-player stories. Let's make God of War Ascension, this multiplayer thing. Ooh, this didn't really work out that well. Like, let's go back to basics. Let's do this. Let's do a God of War story. That's awesome. Yeah. Bring back Corey. Okay, go do that. It's like, right now, I think what you would need to have is a first-party studio that has the passion to do it, and then also the technical know-how. Mm-hmm. And I don't think those are out there, and I don't think that's a bad thing. I'm not saying that a Sony first-party couldn't do it, but they would run into so many problems of trying to figure that out. Even when you look at a game like Warhawk, right? Like, that was a long, long time ago, and it was awesome, but it was what? That was a partnership with Eat, Sleep, Play, but were they Eat, Sleep, Play at the time? No, Incognito, right? And was Incognito first party at the time? I'll get back to you on that one.
Man, Incognito, that was a long time ago.
Well,
Incognito
was a long time, yeah.
Really?
Unless I'm totally wrong. Let's see.
Man, last I remember, Incognito wasn't around since the PS2 era. Did they do PS3 games?
Well, now you're making me doubt everything. Hold on. Just hold on a second.
Because the
freak out.
Incognito
Yeah, developers
games,
were incognito on that.
wow.
Because that was still Dylan Job, and then Dylan Job left and did. This is information I mean. He left and then did Eat, Sleep, Play with Jaffe, and then that's where they did Starhawk out of. Then Jaffe had already left or was about to. He left after Twisted Metal, and then Dylan left after that and went to the other thing. It would make mobile games. Jaffe went off and did Detective Jones, Detective Bartlett's Jones's. The Bartlett Jones thing he's still doing now that made Drawn to Death. Oh, Incognito was a first party. I am rusty.
Well, because Incognito during the PS2 generation, they made Twisted Metal Black, they made War of the Monsters, and then they made Downhill Domination. Is that correct? Those are all PS2.
Yeah,
right?
hold on.
Those are PS2 exclusives.
They did Black, Small Brawl, Black Online, War
yeah.
of the Monsters, Downhill Domination, Head On, Calling All Cars, Warhawk.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Goddamn, Downhill Domination was good.
God, I haven't thought about fucking closed first parties in forever. But that's the thing. It's just you need somebody who's like dedicated and knows what they're doing and on it, right? Like even Warhawk, which was I think fucking awesome, was a different time. Smaller games, smaller maps, fewer players. They knew what they were doing. But for a games as service, hey, let's try to compete with Destiny. Like that doesn't seem like anybody's first party idea.
What would be the value there? Now the value is microtransactions and making the money off of
Owning my
just,
share.
like,
Yeah.
all that constant stuff. So right now, what Sony has going for is the fact that it has exclusive game coming out that are all of high quality and people really enjoy, and then they can kind of rely on the third parties for that holiday season. So they can rely on the Battlefronts and Destiny, and
They keep making partnerships
Whatever it
with
is.
I was gonna
Destiny.
say
Why do
that
they care?
They would be better off just trying to get more exclusive content for the third-party games instead of trying to do it with a
to
first
do their
party.
own.
Yeah.
But my thing is, how much of that giant pie are they getting compared to how much they could get if they did their own? And I think that's the question that they need to answer. But I don't think that, like to your point, I don't think that they can own enough of the market share for that to be worth more than just partnering and taking a small piece of this giant pie.
It's that thing of games take a long time to make. Of course, every game takes a long time to make. But it's such a smaller gamble to say, make a God of War, and that's not even a great example. Make a Detroit Become Human, right? And granted, not like it is. We had this whole argument on Kind of Funny Games Daily. Technically, that's a first party game now since it's being published. It's just a third party developer. I digress. Kind of Funny Games Daily. It would be the thing that if Detroit comes out and that was a bad gamble, all right, no big deal. You're talking about
God of War.
You're talking about years and years and years of development and alpha and beta testing the fucking systems of can we make these PlayStation 4s talk to each other the correct way to do this, to do that, to then build on a microtransaction system, to build on a story, to build on a gameplay, to build on matchups and party modes. And then it's like,
and then for years, give
To
new
support it
content
and
and
keep it
more
going.
stuff and keep it fresh and keep it relevant. Yeah,
I mean, it's not apples to apples at all, but I mean, look at MAG, right? Which was just massive action
massive
game, right?
action
Like,
game.
Hey, we got the players out there, but like, okay, nobody wants to play this game or whatever, and so you walk away from it. Whereas like if you've launched it as, hey, it's a games as service, it's going to be around for a decade. I don't think they want to take a gamble on a decade.
How long did MAG last?
I mean, the real question is, did MAG ever start? Did it last? Sure. Did it ever really start? Like, it was always like, oh, it's 128 people
It
or whatever.
was-
And, okay.
Yeah.
You're going to level up and take commands from other people? I'm like, that's what I want to be doing.
that sounds.
I want this
absolutely
7-year-old
great.
barking orders at me.
Final question of the day comes from Faldies. Since by the time the next Gamescast releases, Mario Odyssey will be out. How would you rank the
Wow.
3D Marios? How experienced are you in 3D Mario?
I haven't had a Nintendo console in so long. So, I mean, Mario 64
Okay.
is probably.
Okay.
Wow.
Are you familiar enough with the 3D Mario? Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that's how close we are to Odyssey.
Wow.
I'm just refreshing my damn email.
Yeah, I know. We're looking
while
for
here.
codes.
Just
That's what I was
hoping the
trying to
codes
get
come.
By the way, I don't know if you saw, though. I sent out codes for GTA, so we're all set there.
Already?
Yeah.
Wow, the show
Rockstar loves Kind of Funny.
That's awesome. I love
How
you,
would I
Rockstar.
rank the 3D Marios?
Now let's just put it out there.
Give me
3D
give
Marios.
me a piece. Give me one of your papers. I'm gonna write down so I can because I'm not. I want to get them all down.
The 3D Marios include 64, Sunshine,
Am I skipping one?
the one that you're just skipping that I'm just gonna say for purpose of the conversation, but we're not going to rank because it doesn't matter. Super Mario 64 DS, which did add a lot of content and did change the game a lot, but at the end of the day, it is just like a remastered 64. So we can cut that one. Galaxy 2, 3D Land on the 3DS, 3D World.
Oh. Okay. On Wii U.
Mm-hmm. So there you go.
Are Galaxy 1 and 2, are we counting as different games?
They're absolutely different games.
Okay.
And that's the thing is, like, those are the ones that are hardest for me because they are both of such a high quality that it kind of gets hard for me to rank where they go. But at the end of the day, when I ranking all of these next to each other, they're further apart from each other than I thought they were.
Really?
Yeah.
Are we doing it at the time how we felt, or how it would count now?
It's an overall. It's I mean, like, yeah, it's like now. Rank them now. Because for me, it's easy. At the bottom of the list, and it gets harder as you go up.
Sure. I mean,
Sunshine is the bottom.
6. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree with that.
Having said that, I fucking love Sunshine. I don't think there's a single game on this list
It's Delfino Plaza. Look at all these fucking multicolored poops that live on it and walk around and talk to you. Now I'm gonna fucking water cannon,
pizzazz?
and there you go. Play the same fucking land forever. Welcome.
so fun.
Doom Doom's got the island soundtrack. Yeah, I'm on. Fuck this game. Fuck it.
Sunshine is awesome. Sunshine gets shat on so hard, and yeah, in comparison to the other games, it's nowhere close. But I still think that there's not a single 3D Mario game that's less than a 9 out of 10.
So can I? This is my list. We agree here. I'm putting a check mark next to that.
Yeah.
Now I'm gonna do it out of order because I'm not as. I mean, I'm versed.
Go for it, man. I'm down for the conversation.
At the top for number 1, I would put Galaxy 1.
For the top of number 1, I would put Galaxy 2.
Okay. See, and I honestly, this is by fault. I mean, I would tell you this, tell everybody this, and I think they know too. I would default to you being the expert here. Like, and not that I'm saying my opinions don't count. Galaxy 1, I remember playing and being like, oh, great. Galaxy 2, I just remember being like, it's more Galaxy. And I don't think that's fair, but that's how I felt, and that's what it was.
Galaxy 2 is all the best parts of Galaxy are expanded on. They cut a lot of the filler. They got rid of the stupid-ass Comet Observatory and just got it straight to a go from level to level, and it's an easy system to understand. There was all the Luigi Green Star stuff was a lot of fun in Galaxy 2. There was a level of challenge in Galaxy 2 that Galaxy 1 never really hits.
Yeah.
That's why I think 2 is superior to 1.
See, and that's why, honestly, I feel like I got to be fair and put Galaxy 2 at number 2. Because for me, I would have just put the Galaxy 1 and 2 together as one game because I'm a cheap bastard like that. And I do, but I can't tell them apart really.
Yeah.
Which is the big thing. Well, I mean, I can tell them apart, I guess. But you know what I mean?
Yeah.
From there, I would say 64, but that's definitely rose-colored glasses of what I remember being a kid and how much I loved it. Like what it was on the N64. If I'm talking about games today,
Yep.
I wouldn't.
So my thing is, I would also I think 64 is number 2.
Okay.
And I say that because, does 64 hold up as well as the other ones? No. However, there are things about 64, like the hub specifically, and like the paintings and the way that things work, and a lot of the challenges that I'm like, this is unheard of. And I don't think that anything's ever hit that level of imagination sense. So I still give it to 64.
Okay. I said that my number 3 was 64. What's your number 3?
My number 3, Super Mario 3D World.
Damn right. That's my number 4.
Really?
Yeah, I love World, dude.
3D World is so damn good, especially once you get past the 8 worlds and you get into the challenge levels.
See, I never did that. Like my
so
World experience is that we did a
amazing.
lot of Let's Plays and streams and shit at IGN with it. And I was always like, this is so much fun. This fixes my problem. In new Super Mario Bros., I fucking hate playing with other people. And I know that's like, that is a breakout game where people, I'd go home to Chicago and like, they had my, cousins had a Wii and they were playing with their kids and like, oh, they're in bubbles and it's so cute. And I was always so frustrated of like running and jumping and then like stopping because like somebody back here, I was like, fuck this, you know what I mean? But World, I thought did a great job of letting us all play together. The crown in between levels where it's like, oh, I had the most coins or whatever the fuck it was. I was like, that's awesome. And then not to mention how great the levels were. Like I'll never forget that one where you're playing and you're running and you go down the musical notes and it like makes the song as you go. And like,
That's cool. And the levels where every time you jump, it flips the color of it.
Oh,
so it
yeah,
goes from
yeah,
blue to
yeah.
red.
That was awesome.
That debuted in Land, but it was a lot more fun in World because of the multiplayer factor. So when you're playing with other people and they jump, you have to time your things together. That was awesome. But to me, World, even as a single player game, there's something just about the obstacle course based shit of just get to the end that I love. And it was simple for a lot of the game, but once you get to the end game stuff, it was so rewarding. There's so much there. And I think 3D World will always get shat on in a way that is unfair because people treat it like, oh, it's not this open world of Sunshine or 64.
Sure.
And also it was on the Wii U. But that is such a damn great game. And as we go down, so I'd say the Galaxy,
now
for
you're
me,
at
I'd
5?
put Galaxy 2 or Galaxy
4.
1.
Okay. And then
Which, if I'm being honest, Galaxy and 3D World, I could probably see go either way. But I want to give the shout out to World that it deserves.
Okay. And then you're putting Land at 5.
And I'm going to change that. Land is the last one.
Okay.
Sunshine's better than Land.
Okay.
At the time, Land was so great, and I loved it, and I would say it was better than Sunshine.
Yeah.
But then when we got World makes Land obsolete.
Okay.
I think.
All right.
There's nothing Land does better than World.
Okay. So
And I
then,
don't know that both of those need to be higher than Sunshine. So yeah, there we go.
so number 6 for me, Sunshine. Number 6 for Tim, Land. Number 5 for me, Land. Number 5 for Tim, Sunshine. Number 4 for me, World. Number 4 for Tim, Galaxy. The original. Number 3 for me, 64. Number 3 for Tim, World. Number 2 for me, 2. Wait, what?
Galaxy 2?
No, that doesn't make any sense. Oh, yeah, no, that is correct. Sorry, I was getting confused. Number 2 for me is Galaxy 2. Number 2 for Tim is 64. Number 1 for me is Galaxy 1. Number 1 for Tim is Galaxy 2. You already want to change it?
I gotta
Oh,
switch
God.
World and Galaxy. I can't be that guy. Galaxy and Galaxy 2 are both 10s. World isn't a 10.
All right.
I didn't have a Nintendo for so long. I missed out on all this.
Man.
The Switch
Hopefully Virtual
brought me
Console will
back
fix
into
that.
Nintendo.
Yeah.
Yeah, if they do virtual.
And now you're about to get Odyssey. Man, I wonder where Odyssey's going to fit on my list. It's an exciting time. It's a damn exciting time. Well, Devin, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
This has been a lot of fun.
Yeah. Now, Kevin, what I want you to do is put the fucking Switch into the goddamn holder and give me the fucking Pro Controller.
Motherfucker. It won't. We can't have it happen here
Why can't we?
because this sounds like a kind of funny World Championship type thing.
Well, one of us has to get the World Championship.
It could be the number one contendership.
No,
Number
that
two
Andy already
contender.
said the World Championship has to be just.
Number
Here's
three
what's
contender.
happening.
Oh, the
Here's what's
champ is
happening,
here.
champ. Here's what's happening, champ.
Bring your goddamn belt.
What's happening, champ, is that Tim says I've never beaten him in Mario Kart,
No, you never have.
but it's because he's never played me because he's a coward. Now you're pretty good at Mario Kart yourself.
Oh, the belt is here.
I'd say I'm the best.
What I would.
I'm gonna be the hype man.
Well,
Oh,
then,
thanks.
then right now, just put it on the line.
Huh?
End this Gamescast with defending because I just want to end the Gamescast kicking Tim's teeth in Mario Kart. But now you're here, you could play. We put the world title on the line, huh?
No, man, no. There's a lot of sanctions and stuff like that.
We don't have a commissioner yet. I don't know if we
right.
can say
Well,
that.
we have to tell the promoters, and it's a. I mean, how quickly are people gonna
Don't
like?
you
pay-per-view
can't. This is not how you do it, all right? This is a real thing.
Kevin.
Stop playing like it's a joke.
Respect the game, Greg.
You're the one who wanted to bring in the world title. I just said be a fucking man and play me, because this is what he did.
And I said no.
What he did is he said this. It can't just happen, and it sounds like a world title thing. I'm like, neither of us have the world title. I don't know. And then he's like, it could be number one contender, and I'm like, you've already decided what number one contender is going to be, unless when we get a commissioner tomorrow, we change everything.
Number two contender.
You're a coward. You're a cowardly lion.
I'll take
Man,
3,
that
4,
belt
5, or
looks so
6.
good, dude.
It's a good looking belt.
So glad I'm the champ.
Ladies and gentlemen, until next time, I love you. Well, that was a fun episode. You can click here to subscribe to Kind of Funny Games. You can click there to subscribe to Kind of Funny. You can click here to support us on Patreon. You get party modes early. It makes it worth $1 for sure.